All right. Let's see what's up. Let's see what's going on here. It's Friday night. Let me bring it to the top. All right. Here we go. Salute to Knicks Nation on this Friday evening. Another edition of Knicks Fan TV Live presented by SeatGeek. I hope we didn't interrupt your plans tonight, because back in July, one CP the Fanchise said, hang on, Leon is not done. I gave you the names coming. I gave you the name potentially going. And on tonight, September 27th, 2024, Leon makes one more blockbuster move. Karl-Anthony Towns is coming back home to New York City. Karl-Anthony Towns coming. Julius Randle going, man. Blockbuster trade. Late off-season blockbuster as Leon makes one more move, man. Karl-Anthony Towns, Julius Randle, Donte DiVincenzo on the way out as well, man. The big Ragu on the way out, as well as a Knicks conditional first-round pick that belonged to the Detroit Pistons. Lots to discuss. Lock into a emergency live stream, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into it. The Holy Trinity of Knicks Fan TV is in the building. CP the Fanchise, Trataros, JD Sports Talk. Lock and load, man. Hit the like button, hit the share button, and subscribe to the channel. Let's go. Oh, boy. Where to even start, man?
Never a dull moment.
Never a dull moment. I couldn't even enjoy my dinner. JD's hit me, blow me up off the hook. I said, oh, boy, here comes the big one. Here comes the big one. After I sent him the voicemail one time, he calls me right back. I said, yeah, this is the big one, man. Lots to discuss. We want to hear from the family. Discord, call us up on the Discord with your reactions to this blockbuster. Look, from my perspective, I mean, things are still fluid, and the final parameters of the deal are still unknown. But I gave you.
How do you feel, CP? We need to know how you feel.
You can't even get the words out.
You know what it is, man. You know what it is, man. Like,
keep it a buck.
I just want to talk on the trade. We'll talk about the other stuff later. But on the trade front, look, I told y'all what they wanted to do, man. I told y'all that this is their guy and how they want to play going forward. I let y'all know this is the playing style. This is what they want to do. And so the interest is there. The Julius contract extension, based on, like I said, my discussions back in the offseason, I didn't have a great feeling about it, which is why I let y'all know. Every time I was asked, I said, it's 50-50. It's 50-50. He could get dealt, but I thought it was going to be more likely in the offseason. This is tough, man, because, Julius set the tone. He came here in the beginning of this thing. But clearly, this is the Brunson show. And so over the years, this team has been building towards putting the team around him that they feel can best compete. I hate losing Donte. I really do, man. I hate losing Donte, especially after the year that he had. I really wanted to see his three-point efficiency shining again with this team, because I think they're really going to need it. So it's tough to lose him. But in gaining Cat, they have their offensive advantages that they're going to look to exploit. How does that impact things defensively? We'll have to see. But that's where it is, man. What do you guys want to say about it, man?
JD, you don't want to go, man? I mean, come on, JD. I know you got some thoughts on this. Come on, man.
Go ahead. You go.
Come on. No, JD. I want to hear your thoughts on the matter.
Listen, first, I would like to say that, it was on 7-9 what is that? 7/9/2024. That's the date that Knicks Fan TV's very own CP the Fanchise reported that the Knicks remain interested in a trade, that the Knicks were targeting Karl-Anthony Towns, that the Knicks may not be done dealing. And there was a lot of, media outlets, a lot of other people out there, I'm not going to say names, but you know who you are, gave my man a lot of heat. Somehow, the biggest channel in the Knicks community, somehow the show for the fans, by the fans, number one show for the fans, by the fans, somehow we were looking for more traffic and clicks and all this other stuff, right?
Yeah.
I'm hoping you guys are in the chat today. I'm hoping y'all show up, because we tried to tell y'all. We tried to tell y'all that the Knicks this offseason were on a mission. And whether you agree or disagree with their strategy, whether you agree or disagree with the game plan, they made a commitment to Jalen Brunson. And I think you saw when Jalen Brunson made that big financial decision, he made a commitment to the New York Knicks. He made a commitment to the game plan. And I thought from that very moment, we might have even underestimated that deal even more. And now I may understand it even more, because when you make such a decision like Jalen Brunson made, we all thought that it was all about the friends. We all thought that it was all about, we're all going to try to win a championship together. We all thought that it was all about a Villanova scheme, a Villanova game plan. And boy, was that different than what we thought this offseason was about. Because Leon Rose in the Knicks front office tonight demonstrated to everyone that it's about the front of the jersey. It's about the goal. Again, whether you agree or disagree with the way that they're doing it, whether you like Karl-Anthony Towns or not, they are going to try to maximize Jalen Brunson's ability to remain elite as a 6'2" guard that, who knows how long he can be at this rate, because, he takes a beating going to the paint. He's not the most athletic player. How do we maximize a player that just made that type of financial commitment so that we can re-sign OG and that we can get Mikal Bridges? And Mikal Bridges now reportedly is willing to take a pay cut, and that we can acquire elite 4 or 5 big men that can shoot the 3-point shot. It's a copycat league. You see it in the NFL. You see it in the other sports. When the team wins a championship, everybody tries to copycat that style. When the Golden State Warriors win a championship, everybody tried to get, 4s and 5s that can play the wing and can defend 3 to 4 positions. And with the Celtics doing it with Kristaps Porzingis being the 5, and you saw how difficult it was to defend. The Celtics were able to create an environment where Jason Tatum could shoot 40% in the playoffs, and they still win the championship. The Knicks are trying to mimic that type of style where Karl-Anthony Towns could go off one night, Jalen Brunson could go off one night, Mikal Bridges can go off one night, and you're able to be healthy at the end of the season. So I'm shocked that Donte DiVincenzo was in this trade. I think all of us thought that when Brunson made his decision that this is going to be the core. A lot of people saying everybody else is on the block. There's no way they're trading Josh Hart to Donte DiVincenzo, and obviously you get Mikal Bridges. Now, CP and Alex, they make, who knows, nobody's safe at this point. I think they proved to everyone, we're going for the championship. However, whatever it takes, it's now or never, and it's now or never. And opening night, oh my God, just got a little bit more spicy.
It's going to be crazy, man. Al, get in here, man.
All I know is that opening night, those tickets they're expensive right now. I intend on going, but then I was looking at prices and I'm like, holy cow, I'm going to have to, start dipping into some savings if I want to go to this game. But now you have even more of a reason to jack up those prices now with Karl-Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson being the forefront of the New York Knicks going against Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and KP if he's healthy enough to start the season. Look, You guys have already spoken about it. The reason why the Knicks made this move is for Jalen Brunson. And let's look at what they did getting Karl-Anthony Towns. On paper, what they're looking for is a guy that can not only space the floor as a big, but also just open the paint, right? And you do that with somebody like Karl-Anthony Towns. That's the whole point. On paper, that is what he's supposed to do. And then when you look at what he did out in Minnesota, how he was just able to continue to improve his three-point shooting, you're looking to maintain that to help Jalen Brunson, because this is a guy who likes to get downhill 16, 17, 18 times a night. That is what he averages in the league. He is one of the most drive-heavy guards, next up there with SGA and people of those nature. So if you're going to have somebody, as JD said, who's not super athletic, who is going to be physical while attacking the paint, you're going to have to open up that paint so that way he gets one-on-one matchups at any cost. And that is why you go after and get somebody like Karl-Anthony Towns. And now on top of that, not only did you want to space the floor, but we all know the concern of this offseason after losing Isaiah Hartenstein was, do we have enough rim protection? Do we have another legitimate center that we have on this team? That's where you also look at somebody like Karl-Anthony Towns and say, okay, we get another 7-foot in here. Whether you pair him next to Mitchell Robinson, or if you don't have Mitchell Robinson, you still have a 7-footer on the court at all times. And the addition of Karl-Anthony Towns, okay, is that he's also a scorer. We know he can shoot the three. We know he can finish around the rim. Those are his two primary areas where he plays the modern NBA style. It is layups or threes. That's what Cat likes to do. Obviously, he's big, so he could dunk and do all that stuff. Those are the two big things when you look at why the New York Knicks did this, okay? And if you want to add even more on that, you look at durability. This guy doesn't miss games, all right? He's one of the most durable players. Julius Randle, who's been injured now 2 seasons in a row. If you're the Knicks and you're saying, you know what, we still haven't seen you prove in the postseason, whether it be injuries, whether it be you didn't have enough on the roster as your first time as a Knick going against the Atlanta Hawks, you had to rely on guys like Elfrid Payton, Reggie Bullock, Derrick Rose, who injures himself during the postseason run as well. The Knicks are saying we don't have enough time for that. Jalen Brunson is now starting to enter his prime, so we have to make moves at a fast rate so that way we can stay in title contention. They went all in when they got Mikal Bridges. They pushed their chips all in now with the way that you went in after Karl-Anthony Towns. You traded Julius Randle, a 2-time All-NBA, 3-time All-Star, okay, most improved player. You also traded one of the best contracts in the league in Donte DiVincenzo, who just broke the New York Knicks three-point shooting record to get Karl-Anthony Towns in return. That, in my opinion, look, you got to pay to play, as you always say, CP. I think it's a little bit of overpay to get a guy with his type of contract on this roster. Okay, but if you're saying that you're going to get the durability, the three-point shooting, and you believe in the rim protection that you need just so you have a 7-footer on the court at all time, I understand from what the Knicks are thinking conceptually why you go after somebody like Karl-Anthony Towns. And so that is why they're making this move.
And we just filtered the chat for members only. We want to make sure that we get our members' comments in here. Salute to all of our Fanchise channel members. If you're not a Fanchise channel member, go ahead and hit join, man. $4.99, cheaper than a cup of coffee, and you get quality programming such as this, man. #1 show for the fans by the fans. My Fanchise channel members, go ahead and throw an emoji in the chat, a custom emoji. Let us know that you're in here. We got a $200 super chat from my guy Jason Calcanis. Shout out to J Cal. He says, lots of feels, but we got the best player in the trade. Shout out to J Cal on that one, man. Welcome to the Fanchise channel members. Joe Shone Train. We got Antoine White, and we got King J number 22. All those guys have joined the Fanchise channel memberships, and right now we got almost 7,000 people on here. So everybody at home, hit the share button right now. Wherever you guys are watching from, share this video on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, whatever it is, and let the people know #1 show for the fans by the fans is on and popping. I like the thought of trying to win in a different way. This is a different way for Tibbs, who has traditionally been known as he needs a traditional center, he needs rim protection. But year after year, we've been seeing Tibbs adapt to the modern game. Remember, when he spent that time off, he went and traveled. He went to Golden State and sat down with Steve Kerr. He went to the Clippers. He went to different stops and was tapping in, taking notes, and seeing where things were going. And now we're kind of seeing a new Tibbs, because I'm looking at it like on opening night, your starting five could be Brunson, Hart, Mikal, OG, and Karl-Anthony Towns. Or if you want to say Hart as the 4, whatever the case may be, that could be your starting 5 come opening night.
No, that ain't happening. He's not playing the 4. You don't.
Okay.
Tatum plays the 4, so you know OG's getting that assignment.
Sure.
You don't. I would be very surprised if they made this move to then get, let's say, a Nick Richards. The Charlotte Hornets have been now reported as a third team in this deal, and things are being fluid. So as things come up, we'll definitely report it for everyone. I'll be surprised that they made this deal to put him at the 4 and put a traditional center, even though that is Tibbs' history and preference. To me, this just, as you mentioned, CP, this is a seismic shift in play style. And I think if they made the decision as a front office, listen, Tibbs, we get the 48 minutes of rim protection back when you had Nerlens Noel playing minutes with Mitchell Robinson, and now Mitchell Robinson with Achua and Sims. And we get that. We get the 48 minutes of a traditional center. But when you look at the playoffs this year, when you look at Minnesota, who has like a guy like Naz Reid, you saw the fit with Gobert. It was better this year. But in the playoffs, you saw how that fit still got exposed. It's one of those things, even for fans that are not fans of this, it's difficult to adapt to, but it may be something that we just have to accept in terms of where the NBA is going. And again, when you look at everyone else on the roster, when you look at also guys, like Josh Hart is a favorite to be part of the closing lineup. Josh Hart is a favorite to play 40 minutes a game. And he had that hot streak versus the Sixers. But again, unless he worked off his behind off this summer and he's all of a sudden going to become a 40% three-point shooter, let's not forget he's not a great shooter. So it's like, how do we create a lineup, a personnel that can allow us to keep a guy like Josh Hart in closing minutes, that can allow us to keep Josh Hart for 40 minutes, and we want to call ourselves a championship team in an NBA where you literally need almost everyone on the court to be able to shoot the three-point shot? How do we do that? Well, you either play small ball, but that 5 has to be able to shoot the 3. And I think when they looked around the landscape, it's either we're going to get a 15 minutes per game player that can shoot the 3, but is a 15 minutes per game center that can shoot the 3, is that a legitimate starter? Is that a guy that's going to close lineups? I don't think so. So they looked at elite players that can do that. And when you survey the available options, Karl-Anthony Towns is the best option for what you want to do. The other side of it is, boy, does he come with a huge contract. 100%. And that right there, that's going to come with a lot of pressure in the New York market.
Let's hear from the people, man. Call us up on the Discord. If you guys want to get your takes in, call us up on the Discord. Up first, we're going to go with J. Cal, man. J. Cal, go ahead and unmute your mic on the Discord.
All right, you got me?
Loud and clear. Let's go.
All right. I got the good mic out.
Let's go.
All right, it's a lot of feelings, obviously. It's a lot of feelings. Donte, just so much grit, such a great player. But he was probably coming off the bench this year, and Karl-Anthony Towns can hit three-pointers, and so can, all the new players that we got on this team. So I'm just thinking, who got the best player, right, in the trade? We did. And then we weren't going to keep Randle. And we all have been at the games. We know playoff Randle has not shown up for us. It's been inconsistent. I want to give him his flowers. He started the revolution here. He's a big part of the transition. I'm very sad that he's not going to be here when we have the parade. But we got to win. This is a business. And Brunson, Bridges, OG, Hart, Towns, Mitch, if Mitch can play, I don't know, maybe that's factoring into this, but that's a pretty impressive, starting 6. I think this is the right move. And I know people say Cat is soft, but he's not like the number 1 guy here. He's going to be the 3rd or 4th option. And I think this makes us significantly better. We weren't going to keep Randle, and it was going to be odd. And maybe, maybe they know something about the situation with Mitch. I'll leave it with this. If Mitch wasn't injured and we didn't lose Hartenstein, would this trade have occurred?
It's a good question. I would say yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who got the best player in the trade?
Well, offensively, Towns is a better player. Okay. He is. Now, the concerns that I had about him, or still have, is defensively, it's mental toughness, because I do think he's soft. I mean, the Western Conference semifinals, he's got 3 fouls in like the second quarter, man. You know, 4, or he had like 5 fouls or something, like almost fouled out in the third quarter. You know, he has those type of lapses. But
Yep.
they have a plan, and time again, it's proven to be right. So let's let Leon cook, man. He deserves it. He deserves the grace here.
Alex, if you take Donte out and it's just straight up Randle, Karl-Anthony Towns, and obviously that math doesn't work out with salaries. We'll see how much of a raise Randle gets. Who would you take?
Yeah, Alex. Who would you take, Alex?
I'm gonna go Randle. I know.
Oh,
I'm good
come
at,
on.
Yeah, I mean, I like Rand. I think look, I understand the fact of that Randle is we haven't seen anything in the postseason from Randle. I understand that. First season, like I said, Hawks, you could say, hey, first year jitters. Same thing with Cap, first year jitters. You want to talk about the Cavs series and that series going against Miami? Did he show up? No. But you can also say, hey, he was injured, needed ankle surgery. The injury was that serious that he needed surgery. And I'm the same person that didn't like that he didn't perform well in either one of those series. But at the same time, I would say that is Cat the better offensive player? Yeah, I think the well-rounded player is Randle, because I think something that we're going to not see is Randle's playmaking that we saw this past season, where it did improve. This was a guy that getting 6, 7, 8 assists on some nights. I know that he can be a guy that infuriates you with like head-scratching plays at the time. So can Karl-Anthony Towns. But I think when you look at the well-roundedness of a player, I'm going to go Julius. I mean, I don't think it's that far off in the sense of like what you're getting back in return. But I do understand on paper that if you're looking to get the floor spacing, that's why you go with someone like Karl-Anthony Towns.
Okay, JD, final question. I'll bounce. Let's not talk about regular season burgers. Let's talk about the 16 burgers that we need. The postseason burgers, the double-doubles, the Big Macs. How many more does Karl-Anthony Towns get us? Let's just talk about the playoffs. We know we're going to be in there. We know we're going to be a top 4 seed. How does this impact the playoffs? Because that's what matters. That's where we are as a team.
I think I think the Knicks with this move, you have to look at it as, yo, finals or bust. Like, why not? I think there's no way that this doesn't create that expectation. Even if you're a Randle fan that doesn't like this trade, even if you firmly believe that Randle could have been the better player, you cannot. The front office made a decision against that belief. The front office, you got to understand, like you mentioned, Donte DiVincenzo to me is the move here. It's the piece that hurts a little bit. Although I think we may overrate just a little bit his true value this coming season than his true value what it was last season. Because last season, he was a starter playing 35 plus minutes, shot a career high 40%. The only year, by the way, in his career where he hit 40% from 3. So he had a career season as a Knick, and I think that value, fans are going to probably transfer it to this year, but I don't think this year he was going to have the same impact because his role was going to decrease significantly. I mean, I could see a lot of nights this year where DiVincenzo barely hits 15, 18 minutes just because of OG and Mikal Bridges going to play a high amount with Hart and Brunson. Where are the minutes? So I think the Knicks were able to say, listen, we got Deuce McBride and Tyler Kolek. You can play small a lot. Deuce McBride now moves to the how does everybody talks about using Deuce McBride as a piece? Somehow he's still a Knick. That tells me the Knicks are not just going to give up on this guy's contract and his improvement and the playoffs in terms of what he proved in the playoffs as a piece. They're not just going to give up on that just because he's a great contract and we can use him to get a center. Like, no, it's not going to be that easy.
Oh, we almost hit 10,000. Gabriel.
We're going to hit 10,000. Everybody give a thumbs up. Everybody share on Twitter. Everybody's got to do their work tonight because this needs to be a record breaker.
Like, share, and subscribe, Gabriel.
I just want a 7-game series against the Celtics right now. That's all I got to say about that. Let's do it.
This is my question
for man.
CP.
Let's go.
How does Boston feel right now hearing about this? Because you can judge how you did by how your enemy, how your competitor, how they feel about this trade. How they feel about it is actually more important than how we all feel about it because we got emotions.
Well, look, they're the champs. You know what I mean? So they're riding high, man. But there's no question that we match up a lot better with them, with the Pacers, and now they got a guard. And now when that floor is wide open and you got number 11 cooking like he likes to do, it's going to make things very, very interesting.
All right. Here's the other thing, too. Now, with this move, Joe Mazzulla is not going to be able to use Drew Holiday against Randle because Randle's not he's not going to use Drew Holiday anymore on like Karl-Anthony Towns, right?
Yeah.
When you look at the matchup, you could see the versatility in being able to say let's put Jalen Brown or even a Jason Tatum on a Jalen Brunson. We're going to use Drew Holiday to frustrate Julius Randle. So I know, Alex, what you're saying, but we saw it in the regular season. In those games where I know it's regular season, but you see there's a few games in the regular season where a coach does test a potential playoff strategy and he throws it out there in the regular season just to get a taste, just to see, can this strategy be successful? Can I put a 6'4" guard on a 6'9", 250 power forward, and can that be an effective strategy that we can sprinkle in the regular season? Let's see how that player reacts to it. Let's see how that offense runs through this defensive alignment. And let's see if this is something that we can hold over and then use it again in the playoffs. And you saw how that experiment went in that matchup where Julius Randle just did not play well in that matchup against Drew Holiday. The Celtics are not going to waste that now on Karl-Anthony Towns because the Knicks would just camp out like Porzingis at the three-point line. So now
if we're healthy,
it's going to be Brunson versus Holiday one-on-one. And Brunson is going to have to now win that matchup, and then it's going to be on the teammates in terms of through screens and other action play to play well against that personnel. So I think this move creates also a advantage to the Celtics from a matchup standpoint because the Celtics now can't use as much versatility as you could against Randle. Because again, Randle is not a great three-point shooter. And when he's cold, he's really cold. Yeah, now the Knicks have many more options, and again, they create an environment where they're just more difficult to defend from a shooting standpoint.
If we're healthy, we're going to the NBA Finals.
Let's go. J. Cal, salute to you, man. Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, like, share, and subscribe. Blockbuster trade, Randle and DiVincenzo to the Timberwolves. Karl-Anthony Towns coming home to the New York Knicks, man. Leon was not done, and they make a blockbuster deal. Let's catch up on these super chats. Call us up on the Discord. Son from Brooklyn, $10 super chat says, PCP, Alex, and JD. I hate this trade because Donte's leaving. However, the Knicks showed in last year's playoffs that they can win without Randle. Salute. Yeah, they can win without him, but they got Karl-Anthony Towns. I mean, this isn't this is by subtraction type of thing. They got an all-star for an all-star, which is what you need for Julius Randle. El Capitan $5 super chat says, I'm not a Randle fan, so I'm okay with trading him, but I don't think this was the deal. There will come a time when Cat, Mitch, and OG are all hurt. Certainly a risk. Mark from the 915, welcome to the Fanchise channel members. El Paso, Texas in the building. Salute. All right, we got a lot of people on the phones. Keep it tight. Keep your takes tight. CK2K, you're up next. CK,
how y'all feeling, y'all? How y'all doing? Y'all good? How we doing?
It's Friday
night. Up a little bit, man.
Friday night.
Run the intro.
Run the intro.
Okay.
I just want to understand the energy. I'm trying to feel out the energy because the chat, Twitter, everywhere else, it's 50-50. Like, I still don't know how the Knicks world is feeling with this when we got everyone like, man, Randle, I was just booing him last week, but now I want him to stay. And then other people just, feeling the type of way about Karl-Anthony Towns. Look, this is a crazy deal. I don't even know how I feel yet. So I don't have. I'm going off of y'all emotions because I truthfully do not know how the hell to feel just yet. Starting off with Donte, and my man JD mentioned something that I feel like we haven't talked about enough. The question for at least for me, but I feel like a lot of folks for the last few weeks has been like, we got all this talent, we got all these guards, wings, and blah 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 blah. Yeah. Where Deuce gonna play? Because this Tyler Collett kid look kind of cool. Where Deuce gonna fit? Well, I think a spot just opened up because people weren't really believing that he's a backup point guard material. This, that, and the third. Well, that backup 2 looks a little bit open now, and again, JD mentioned this. You have to think that front office and Tibbs, who big fan of the Deuce McBride project, they really feel like you can get rid of that. Obviously making the money match up, but you really feel like you won't really skip too much of a beat when you have Deuce McBride improving the way that he did last year, and now having a solidified role playing that 2, a little bit of 1. But man, like I said, I'm feeding off y'all energy because I still don't even know how I entirely feel about just Karl-Anthony Towns being here yet. Because which cat we gonna get? We gonna get the we heard the memes about the about his interviews. I need to know which Karl-Anthony Towns we getting as a player as well. Like because when you
more memes this season too.
Yeah, wait, say that again, Jay.
I said there's definitely gonna be a few more memes this season too. You don't just change a guy's personality in a month. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
Isn't it Monday? Isn't there Knicks Media Monday?
It's Monday.
That's what I'm saying.
It's Monday, man.
Monday there's gonna be a soundbite where the fans that say he's soft, man, you see why? That's why I don't want to. Look, he's acting fruity.
Right.
He's saying this.
Right. Exactly, bro. Exactly.
Over under 1.5. How many AEOs are we gonna have to put on Karl-Anthony soundbite on Monday?
Oh, right. You might as well just lock in the soundbite because it's gonna be near the button, as I almost say.
I'm definitely. But look, man, I'm glad to take him to Dykeman before the season starts. You're gonna, take him to Dykeman. We're gonna have to take him to a few places. Take him up to Harlem. You know what I mean? Go to Brooklyn. Take him to a few. We gotta get him a little bit ready for the season. Toughen him up a little bit. Don't come over here with that Minnesota attitude. I like the move. But I like the move because I'm trying to see the vision of the front office. I'm trying to see the difficulty of, the personnel they're trying to create out on the floor, the potential, the high upside of the move. I also, again, sometimes a move is not about who goes in the move. Sometimes a move is also evaluated by who on the team is also now elevated into a higher role. And I'm a Deuce fan. So it's not also about who's leaving. It's about, okay, who's now getting an extended opportunity. And all the Tyler Kolek fans that saw him in summer league and in college and said, yo, I want to get him minutes. He's not going to get minutes in a Tom Thibodeau rotation. Well, now he's going to be able to get some, sprinkle minutes here and there. He has a clear path to get minutes as a rookie. That all could work out for you in the long run. So Knicks Media Day on Monday is going to be very interesting. And I don't know, man. This is insane.
The other thing when we talk about Randle and Donte going out is that, see, we had this conversation last week when we were, evaluating the wing position. It's where's the time going to be for everybody, right? Yeah. JD already mentioned there could have been some nights where we saw Donte only get 15 minutes. Well, it could have been Hart getting 15 minutes just because if you need more offense, do you want to keep Donte out there? And then what we saw at the beginning of last season, because this was the same situation we had to start last season. We're like, oh, we got the depth. We're good. We got enough from 1 to 10. We're locked in. But then at the start of last season, we heard Josh Hart, yo, I'm not getting enough minutes. Quickly, I'm not getting enough minutes. RJ, he wasn't getting enough minutes. There were nights where he's like, yo, you only got 20 minutes, and this is your starting 2 guard. Yeah. So with this move, it opens up playing time for everybody, not only for the bench, but for guys who need to get in rhythm. So maybe it's a guy like Josh Hart, right, who gets those 35 minutes on a nightly basis now, gets to feel a little bit more rhythm. Guys like Mikal Bridges, you want to give him more of an offensive responsibility that he got while being out in Brooklyn after being traded from Phoenix. You're giving him that opportunity now. What you saw from OG Anunoby in the postseason, okay? We saw that mini Kawhi stuff. Maybe now that you give him this type of opportunity, he can start to develop more of an offensive game. So, This is the biggest concern, I think, or one of the, not this necessarily the biggest concern, but one of the many concerns coming into the season was, is there going to be enough minutes for everybody on this roster? And so not only do you say we're going to get rid of that problem off the rip entering the season, but as to JD's point, as to CK's point, you're now giving guys who are also on this roster, not only deuce, but guys who are here saying, hey, do you think you could take it up another notch and be that type of guy for this team that we need? Because we know Brunson's going to be number 1. All right. Who's going to be number 2? Who's going to be number 3? Like, these are all positions that we need to see figure out now, because it was supposed to be, all right, we know it was going to be Brunson number 1. Randle was going to be number 2. And then some nights you can get Bridges, maybe OG, whoever. Now I feel like between 2 to 4, there's a competition to see, all right, who's going to show up and show out.
There you go, man. Let's get Ari in here. Ari, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
You already know.
Hold on. Let me get ready for this call. This is
Race for
been a long
impact.
time waiting.
Do we have Ari? Ari, what happened? He said he was in a rush. What happened to him?
Ari, are you
Ari,
there?
are you there? Going once.
Oh no.
All right. Still go ahead. We'll wait for Ari. Still go ahead.
I can't believe it. This man finally folded on the day of his final victory.
Yeah.
Before I get going, I gotta just first and foremost, CP, you called it. I stand down. I didn't think they'd do it before the trade deadline. So you called it. You get your flowers. Now I'm gonna keep it rapid fire as I can, because we got a lot of people in line. Who knows? Ari might come back and who knows what he all has to say. But I got 2 things I got to say. Number one, Tibbs, boy, you better make it work. My thoughts about Karl-Anthony Towns are well documented.
Yeah.
Tibbs, if there is one coach that I trust with this assignment, it's you. I had to deal with this man, Karl-Anthony Towns, when he was at Kentucky. I was a Kentucky fan before I was a Knicks fan.
Mm-hmm.
My thoughts about him go back a decade. But if there's one coach I trust in this league to make it work, Tibbs, you got it.
All right.
Now, second thing, real quick before we get on out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it does feel like a bit of an overpay. I'm not gonna lie. That's a $240 million contract. It better happen. If we don't get a ring out of this move this year, or I'll give you next year too.
Yeah.
But next 2 years, if we don't at least get a good, solid finals run, I'm going to be heated.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I got to deal with Karl-Anthony Towns nonsense
100%.
for another 2 years of my life.
100%.
But anyways,
man. Appreciate the
you
call,
all
man.
do a fantastic job here. Number 1
Yes,
show
sir.
for the fans, by the fans. We got 8,000 people hitting the like button for my boys.
Yep.
I'll see y'all later.
Like, share, and subscribe. Stilico, salute to you. All right, we got Ari coming through. We're going to load Ari up. I'm sure he's got a lot to say. Rapid fire on the takes, people. We want to get to as many people as possible. Karl-Anthony Towns in. Julius is headed to Soda, as well as Donte DiVincenzo. More moving parts on the way out of here, in here. We'll see, man. But the number 1 show for the fans by the fans is on and popping. Like the man said, we got over 8,000 people in here. Franchise channel members only in the chat. We got to get to our franchise channel members and make sure that they can be seen and heard.
What was the record? CP?
The record was 10.
Did we hit 10 tonight?
No. Well, we came close. I think we hit like 9-8. It's a TM can check. I think we hit like 9-8. We came close.
Yes. Oof.
Yeah. I think, it could be, Friday night. I got kind of caught off guard by this. You know what I'm saying? I was in the middle of Netflix and chill. I was in the middle of dinner time.
I was
My brother downstairs getting cold, man.
Yeah.
I call this is how I know CP was caught off guard. I call him, he doesn't pick up. I'm like, what is he doing? Call him back, doesn't pick up. The third time he finally picks up. He goes, hello. It's not you know when you can feel the energy someone's up Friday night.
Yes.
You're like, yo, what's good? What's up? He goes, hello. Like, bro, wake up. What are you doing?
JD, come on, bro. This man just turned 40.
Yeah,
he's ready to
bro.
go to
I'm
sleep,
going
man.
40 year old
You
me.
scared off a nap?
Long day, no nap. Just wrapped up dinner. Like, I'm just trying to post up.
I know you just hit
Wrapped
the
up
40
dinner.
club, but damn,
Good
is,
God.
is it bedtime already? Like,
I mean,
what's going
it was
on?
getting close on a night like tonight, man. It was getting close.
He's
I was
like-
on
he's
my
like,
glass.
oh.
I was getting poured up.
He's like, yo, I'm getting ready for dinner, man, with the lady.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, forget that. We going live.
We gotta go
You
live
have
and
to
talk
tell him,
about it,
forget
man.
that.
Oh,
Put it in the
man.
microwave. Forget
Oh man,
that.
JD was pre-gaming. You can
Oh,
tell
man.
the energy, and JD was ready to go
Yeah,
out.
ready, man.
Crazy U-turn. I say, yo, I'm going upstairs. We going
Yo.
live.
Can I ask you guys a question though?
Yep.
Because I get it from the Knicks standpoint, but I'm just curious from a Minnesota standpoint. You know, all of us love the NBA
Yeah.
at large. Why do this right now, though? You just went the farthest in postseason history in God knows how long,
Yeah.
and now you say, you know what? We don't need Cat.
Yeah.
We'll trade him.
Well,
And for Julius Randle and Donte, and I'm like, all right, Cat made sense next to Rudy Gobert. Randle doesn't make any sense next to Rudy.
Well, for one, we're definitely gonna get our guy John Krasinski in here this week. We'll definitely get him on the show.
Need to.
But you know, for 9 years in Minnesota, the article has come out. He didn't request a trade. I wouldn't say that he did, but obviously being presented with this opportunity, he sure didn't pass it up. Also, remember the initial rumors back when they had the ownership rift. You don't even know who's taking over. But despite that, it was said that both sides were motivated to cut some of their payroll, which I think had to maybe factor into this as well. So were there other basketball reasons with Chris Finch? Who knows? You know, that I'd like to talk to John Krasinski about. But the initial thing that we had always heard was out there was that they were trying to save some money. I don't know. I don't know.
What do you think, JD?
Listen, it's a very interesting decision on the Minnesota side because, like, the fit there, you could say it's questionable now because it was already interesting with Gobert at the 5 and Karl-Anthony Towns being a perimeter 4, converting into more of a perimeter player at the 4. Now you add Julius Randle with Rudy Gobert. Like, when those nights Randle can't hit the 3, it's going to be interesting with Gobert at the 5. You know, we talked about the same kind of combination here as, you know, Randle with Mitch as opposed to even Randle with Hartenstein, where Hartenstein could at least help you out there being away from the basket, being a good passer. That's going to be I get sometimes you have to just make a move to shift things. And when they made the move for Gobert, I think it limited their ability to use him as a piece and retrade him because Gobert has taken a lot of heat in the playoffs as a Minnesota Timberwolf. And now I think they just wanted to make a move and they like Donte a lot. The reports are saying that they may actually like Donte more in the move than Randle.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to sign him. And you know, with Anthony Edwards being such an athletic force to the rim, they think Donte would be a good fit. But that's why I think it's gonna be interesting. And I'm gonna tell you one thing: I heard rumors about Randle not being potentially ready yet for training camp. Like, the whole dynamic is gonna be interesting. And if Randle is still, you got to understand too, Randle, this injury is going to be very interesting to monitor because although he has surgery, that type of surgery on a shoulder for a physical guy like that is something to watch in the future. And to me, this had to be a move that they've been talking about for a while because you got to check the medicals. The guy has surgery. He's not even going to be ready, I guess they're saying, and the Minnesota Timberwolves still, like, the Minnesota Timberwolves could have just said, you know what? We're going to wait on this. We're going to make sure this guy's healthy before we make a move. And they still made the move. So that tells me that These front offices made predetermined decisions, and then they just decided to work together to figure out how to make a move, because this shocked everyone.
Not everyone.
To me, it's like, I think
not
it's just
everyone.
new. This is true. Not everyone.
You tried to tell everyone.
Not everyone. I gave y'all several warnings.
Maybe tonight, the way you said hello. maybe tonight.
CP already knew.
CP
CP already got the call early this morning. He's like, man, it's just
that's
a matter of
that's
time.
why he was asleep. He was like, JD's gonna be thirst. He's gonna be the first one to call me. So I'll let him wake me up.
I think the way I look at it for the Minnesota side, it's like it continues to be this new front office. So it's just like, when Dolan took over the Knicks, it was just, he was very involved. Like, I want to make sure, I want to have my hands in everything. And this just kind of reeks of that for the Minnesota side, because Rudy Gobert was that first domino of new ownership saying, all right, let's make a move. We got Anthony Edwards in here. Blah, blah, blah. Next, Michael Jordan, whatever. Let's go get him a center. Let's go get him a running mate right now. And now I feel like they're just trying to do damage control, because I think the Gobert, even though you trade for Gobert, look, another Defensive Player of the Year award under his belt, but yet again, a guy that can be played off the court in the postseason. And it's like, okay, we made a mistake here. Who's going to trade for this guy who's very limited, a limited rim protecting big with that type of contract? Whereas if you're looking to do damage control, in my opinion, you say, as you guys are talking about, want to cut costs, who's valuable? Who can we move? Who's got some offense? I think you look at Cat and say, all right, we got to, we're going to cut our nose to spite our face because of what we've done initially. But that's what it reeks to me as. And I think for moving forward, if you're going to be an owner in any league, I think you just got to let the basketball operations people do it. Like, just make the decisions versus, I'm a new owner, I just want to be involved. Because it's the same thing with the Phoenix Suns, right? It's like, going to trade everybody, go get Kevin Durant, go make some moves here. And then we look at that roster last year and everyone's like, Beal, Booker, KD. It's like, all right, this team ain't going too far. And look, now you got Budenholzer on that team. It's like, it's still a good move, but I still don't believe in that team going too far. And that's just ownership saying, let me get involved very early because this is my new quote unquote toy. Let me go just, have some fun to get off.
I'll say one thing. CP and Alex. In 10 seasons, Julius Randle hit 40% from three one time. And not any other time he was even close to 40% from three. Karl-Anthony Towns, in 9 seasons, has hit 40% or more 5 seasons out of 9, and almost a sixth at 39%. So that's almost 6 out of 9 years, 40% or higher from three. And when I see that, and I see the first couple seasons of Jalen Brunson being the guy, having to work with a Jericho Sims, a Precious Achiuwa at the 5, a Mitchell Robinson at the 5, and even Hartenstein, who didn't shoot as many threes as a Knick, I can only think about, CP and Alex, how in the world is anyone going to be able to defend Jalen Brunson this season?
Yeah.
With Karl-Anthony Towns shooting 40% from three. How in the world? He is a prime MVP candidate for me. I know a lot of fans think that somehow he's going to automatically get 28 minutes because of this whole load management. Memo. Look at stars in the NBA. They get minutes to become MVPs. Like Luka's and these guys, if they're healthy, they're going to get burned. It's not about minutes with these guys. It's always about how many games they're actually going to play. But in the games they play, these guys are going to get the minutes because they want awards. They want accolades. They want the numbers. So I don't think Jalen Brunson's workload is actually going to decrease this season just because the team is better. I just think it's going to be easier for him to get the numbers that he's going to get, to be another all-star, another season, and to continue to build his resume and a potential MVP season.
All right, let's get to the phones. Ari, go ahead and unmute your mic.
You guys hear me now? I'm back?
Yep, we got you.
There he is.
Oh my God, Ari.
All right, I prepared a little something. So, good evening, Knicks Nation. Good evening, Alex, CP, and JD. Thank you for joining me tonight.
Oh, joining
the
you.
jo-
Okay.
We're joining.
Oh, I thought he was gonna sing. Keep going.
Hey, you too, CK. You too. Miss you, buddy. But
Glad to be here.
the journey.
Ari, real quick. Ari, sorry to interrupt you. I need to know what was your reaction? Like, what was your immediate reaction when you saw this? You saw it on Twitter or text? How did you
He
find
posted
out?
it.
Yeah, no. So the initial reaction was I was at the Yankee game actually, and I was leaving the Yankee game, and I was with my buddy, and he was on Twitter, and he's like, "Yo, what is this?" And I saw it, and it's like one of those like, I don't know. It was like probably like a third or fourth time I fell into shock. I had to like catch my breath a little bit. Then my phone started buzzing. I was like, "No way, this is real. This is real." And I'm still a little bit in shock, honestly. But I've prepared a little statement. So the journey of 1,000 steps began with a single step on July 1st, 2019, when I called into Knicks Fan TV, the biggest in the game, with the hopes of landing KD and Kyrie, and we walked away with Julius Randle. And I called in, upset that we struck out, and I was clowned and hated on for being disappointed. And on that day, Tomato Gang was born, and Ari from Manhattan was born. And ever since that day, I've been on a mission to speak truth to power, to kind of represent the common Knicks fan, the fan that was too afraid to speak their mind in fear of the company men and Tomato Gang and the haters. And it's been 5 years of countless tomatoes and countless DMs from Knicks fans saying, "Yeah, we should trade Randle, but I can't say it publicly." Or, "Ari, you're right. He doesn't have the basketball IQ." Or, "Ari, I respect you for standing on business, even though I may not agree with you." So people ask me, JD, are the Knicks better today or 4 years ago? And to that I say, in the famous words of Kamala Harris, I was born in a middle-class family, the son of a Middle Eastern immigrant. And we're not going back. We look forward. Hope and change. All right? No more spin turnovers. No more hiding from the media. No more 5 for 20 in the playoffs. No more laptop warranties. None of that. What did this team need? We needed a stretch 5, and we needed a center. Is he soft? Sure. But so is Randle. Is he a little sassy? Sure. But he could shoot. Is his contract trash? Yeah. But Randle's will be next year too. Ladies and gentlemen, all the picks are gone. All the salary cap is gone. All the kids are gone. And Randle and RJ are gone. And it's time we come together as a fan base. Toxic Knicks Twitter, positive Knicks Twitter, and everyone in between. We need to unite and look forward to a better day, a championship. No excuses. It's the 6 inches in front of your face. If you're sitting at house, look at the person next to you. Your significant other. Look at your children and your friends. Look at them. We either come together as a fan base or we die alone as individuals. That's it. That's life. That's basketball. In closing, people ask me, "Ari, what would you do if we extended Julius Randle for another 4 years?" I guess we'll never know. God bless you and God bless the New York Knicks.
This is Ari from Manhattan. If anybody's wondering, this is Ari in the car with a diabolical grin.
Ari from Manhattan. That was Ari from the White House.
Ari
Yeah, I
from
was
the
about
White
to say,
House.
that man's running for
Campaigning.
office.
He's campaigning for a cabinet job. For sure. Shout out to Ari, man. So to everybody in the chat once again, hit that thumbs up on it for you boys. Like, share, and subscribe. Blockbuster trade. Randle, Hive, how do you feel tonight? Karl-Anthony Towns, Hive.
Y'all find it. There it is.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the post.
Yeah, coming in. So, hey, give us your reactions, man. If there's anybody who doesn't like this trade, let us know, man. You can call us up, join us in the KFTV Discord. Well, we got to go back to the Discord. Let's go to the Knicks chick. I'll mute your mic, my lady. Go ahead. And get
I know
takes.
she hyped.
Sorry to mess up.
You guys hear me?
I know she hyped.
Sorry
Yeah.
to interrupt the dinner.
They messed up date night.
I didn't mean to interrupt the dinner.
Yeah.
Maria.
We messed up date night. They're very
Yeah.
lucky I'm a huge Knicks fan.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
We got to talk about it. That was poetry by Ari, by the way.
Absolutely.
It was just missing music. That's all that was missing,
we were
man.
missing
Just
the
needed a track.
theme music for Ari, man.
6
That's
inches
right.
was crazy.
Need like a little light jazz instrumental behind that when you
Yeah.
guys repost that. So Tibbs spoke last week, and he said in his conference that he would play Julius small ball at the 5, and that should have been everybody's sign that Julius was not coming back, because there was no way Tibbs was ever going to do that. So if you didn't already listen to me tell you that Cat was coming and Julius was going over the summer, that's when you should have known. But I think Julius needed to go. It's not shade to Julius. I do respect what he did for us. There was plenty of nights when he was an absolute beast on the Garden floor. But I want you to talk to me about the postseason. And I want you to talk to me about how he's made for New York. Because I hear a lot of people complaining about how Cat is too soft for New York. But we have to remember that we're talking about a dude who started a war with 20,000 people by giving us a thumbs down, right? Because he couldn't take the New York fans. So if we're going to talk about Cat being soft, we have to also reflect on Julius's character as well. So I said this to people in Vegas during Summer League. I think that as soon as we've realized that Julius was not going to get a contract extension, I don't see how that was going to lead to a positive season for Julius Randle. I think he would have played the most selfish basketball of his life. I think it would have been a terrible season for him. So Cat is going to fit in better with what we have already established here. I think he's going to spread the floor. We're trading an elite scorer for an erratic one. So I think this is a good move. And
What
the
about
bottom line for me
Donte?
is
What about Donte? I don't like the DiVincenzo. I don't like losing
I
Donte.
love Donte, but honestly, I think that he would have been fighting for minutes anyway. That would have actually
true.
turned into a big dilemma for us.
It's true. He
So
would
if
be.
we didn't trade him, we would have been talking about that. It would have been a good talk to have, but we would have been talking about where are these minutes going to come from again. So it was not going to just be an easy transition. So as much as I love Devo and what he did for us last year, something had to give, right? Like these kind of trades don't happen where you just give up the piece you don't want. Like obviously we have to meet salaries. Obviously we have to give them an enticing piece to even make them want this trade. So we weren't just going to do it by giving away pieces we didn't want. That's not how trades work, right?
Yeah.
And then last, I just want to break it to you all. Kolek is still not going to get minutes, just so everybody knows.
Well, Maria's gonna be Deuce.
Dang.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be Deuce. This is Deuce's corner. It's Deuce's block. It's Deuce's time. He earned it. You know, one of the best contracts in the league is Deuce's time, man.
Yeah, Maria already got the attitude of, Randle's an op. She came in here.
Next man
I don't
up.
talk about he soft.
Nah,
what
nah.
about when he did this?
Yeah.
Right. Maria been wanting
Maria,
this, man.
She don't forget.
Ease it up a little.
Yeah,
Ease
she
it
been
up a
wanting
little.
this.
We emotional right now, but she's like, nah. She ready. She ready
ripped
for
the Band-Aid off.
Yo.
She wanted this, man.
Forget that. He's an op now.
Oh, we gotta get the rhyme animal in here. Let's get the rhyme animal in here. Hang on.
Chuck D.
Rhyme animal Chuck D. When you hear this, go ahead and unmute your mic. Rhyme animal Chuck D. Still there? Anybody? All right, well, while we wait for Chuck, man, salute to everybody in the chat once again. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. CP, JD, Alex, the Knicks chick, Chuck D, CK, the whole family's in here, man. Hit that like button, hit the share button, and subscribe to the channel. Blockbuster trade. Karl-Anthony Towns is coming home, and Julius Randle is headed to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Ladies and gentlemen, real quick, support our sponsors over at SeatGeek. As you get ready to get your Knicks tickets for the season, use our code KFTV at SeatGeek for $20 off your first purchase. That's a great deal, especially when you know these tickets are going up, and you know the Towns acquisition, they're probably going up a little bit more. So make sure you use our code at SeatGeek. Use the app or use SeatGeek.com and use our code KFTV for $20 off your first purchase. Look for the green dots. Those are the ones with the best deals. The red dots are the bad deals. So you can wait on those. Green dots, those are the ones you want to go for, man. All right, Rhyme Animal Chuck D, Go ahead and jump in here, man.
You got me, y'all?
Got you, 10-4. Yep, copy.
So I start off saying hello. yo, listen, man. I'm in a ball of confusion, man. But the Knicks chick, she calmed me down because after Ari State of the Union vengeance, I was like, all right. Coincidentally, y'all, I'm in OKC tonight, right? I had to do a lecture out here, and earlier today I was at Sam Presti, right? So Sam Presti, the GM of OKC, comes by, and so I'm like feeling it good. Hey, what up, Sam? Boom, boom, boom. Yo, we're talking about I Heart, And I said, yeah, you guys are gonna love him. He's my favorite. He was Dave Cowens, man. My other favorite, is Donte. But you guys are gonna have an NBA Finals here this year. So I'm feeling good. So I'm getting ready. I do my lecture and I go down to, to do my thing tonight. And then all of a sudden Q-Tip hits me up. Bill Stephanie hits me up. Then I get a ton of, and it's a whole bunch of mixed feelings. And I'm like, what the H happened? And then this happened.
Wow.
I'm like, I was just with Sam Presti, like, we'll see you guys, right? Sort of. And now I'm like, okay, but, Knicks, she balanced me out because, yeah, Julius was probably going to have a different year this year fitting in. My number one thing is like, hey, I'm going to be rapid fire. Cat, I hope he gets in Tibbs' shape. I'm a little vexed about losing Donte, but the playing time, point was very important. Cat, he better get in Tibbs' playing shape when he's going to be injured. I'm telling you now. But rapid fire, yeah, I'm in OKC and I'm gonna hit Sam Presti back, and I'm going to try to get to that first iHeart game out here, in OKC.
Yeah, I'll be there.
But,
I'll be there.
Oh, you'll be there? Yeah, okay. All right.
Let's do it.
Yeah. I was listening in. Alex, JD, great points, all of y'all. I know KG is screaming. There's a lot of people screaming. Before I go, I happen to think that Randle's going to thrive with Gobert anyway. Because I just think Cat was in Gobert's way. They were just two towers that kept colliding with each other, although they were in different parts of the court. They didn't see each other. But I think Randle and Gobert might have something. But do I care? Not now. I don't. And that's that. So I'll wait and see. Rapid fire. I'm out.
Appreciate you, OG. Knicks Fan TV on and popping. Yossi Goslin, our cap guy, says it sounds like the Knicks will make up the rest of the $8.8 million outgoing salary required by sign and trading players. For sign and trading free agents, rather. This would allow them to complete the deal without sending out an additional significant player under contract. For example, including Daquan Jeffries, along with Charlie Brown, Dwayne Washington Jr., and slightly above minimum salaries. Keita, Bates, Jop, Works. Any contract in the sign and trade must be for 3 years, but only the first needs to be guaranteed. All right, so
we talked about. I thought initially Mitch was out of here, but it doesn't sound like it.
Doesn't sound like it.
It's another interesting dynamic to this whole puzzle.
Separate deal, man. So again, let us know what you guys think, man. Karl-Anthony Towns in Julius era ends, unfortunately, and it's just so funny how the business works, man. Y'all saw yesterday when they were at the school with like Earl the Pearl, and they're all like they're like digging the foundation of the new school and joint. And I'm sitting there watching this, and again, not to kick this guy's back in, not to kick him while he's down. I'm sitting there watching this like he's gonna get traded. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is he processing at this time when like these guys are working on a blockbuster trade on the back end? It's a crazy business, bro.
Bro, how about when the media asked Thibodeau about Julius' health?
Yeah, he was like, I guess so.
And he's like,
caught him off guard.
Do you think Julius is healthy? What do you think about his health and going into training camp? He's like, I think so.
Yeah,
I think he's healthy. I think so. I was like, that's it's very interesting.
Very interesting. So, I mean, listen, I wasn't here to pull the receipts out on him. I mean, JD, you kind of try to put the battery in my back.
Bro, I got tight. I got tight because we always take the high road. We always the professionals here. And sometimes, it's like LeBron said. LeBron said, I've been here for 19 seasons. You know how many times I want to say something, but it's just so difficult. And I always take the high road. I say, CP, don't worry about it. I'll take a hit for the team. I'll pull out the receipts.
We don't bother nobody. We go live, we talk to each other, we talk to the people, we have a good time.
Listen, the slogan is a slogan. Don't get mad at it.
It's number one show for the fans by the fans, but that rubs people the wrong way. Pause. That's just how it is, because here it is. I'm telling you, over the summertime, 2 + 2 = 4. And people's like, oh, no. Dude,
You're content farming.
Yo,
You're content farming,
you're
CP.
clickbaiting us. You're tricking us. Oh, somebody go to this guy. We need to break down the numbers to disprove, to discredit. No, we got to go to so-and-so because so-and-so's more. And I'm like, bro, 2 + 2 = 4. And I'll let y'all have at it. So every comment that is to the contrary, I'm like, all right, you're a fool. You're a fool. Another fool. Okay, let me go grab some lunch. I mean, so it's just like that. Like we don't take that stuff to heart because it's like when you know what time it is, everything else is just noise. At the end of the day,
Somehow we tried to be the new Shams and Woj. Like, nah, we not.
no,
We not.
no,
We're not trying to. Like, we don't need to do that.
never.
And we don't report much, but I tell you, when we do, we don't miss.
Right.
It's
Damn,
be on point, man.
Check the history. When we do, we don't miss.
Everybody dropping mics tonight, man. Ari, CP, JD, y'all. We running out of mics to drop, y'all.
I mean, you know, we just let y'all know what it is, man. But we have a good time either way, man. That's what it's all about. Number one show for the fans.
And Maria
fans.
made an excellent point, and you hit me up and you said the same thing, CP, and you did it on the show too. You said it. That date for Julius Randle, when he's eligible for a contract extension, could be the next key, the next indicator, the next tip to what the Knicks are going to do or what they may be thinking. And like Maria said, as the date from the day he was eligible to the next day, to the next day, to the next day, and you don't even hear a report about anything, like there's no negotiations. Now you're thinking, okay, what are they going to do? Because you're not going to allow a 20 to 25 and 10 guy, 20 to 25 and 9 guy to enter free agency or go into a season being a free agent. So what are you going to do? You're going to trade a guy like that at the deadline? Those type of moves at the deadline are very difficult to make. Yeah. And as you see now with the Knicks, you know, they're a move like this, they prefer to do it now.
Yeah.
Go through training camp.
Got to do it before training camp.
Such of an important season. Look, it's a couple days to training camp, a couple days to media day. They made this move now and said, listen, we're not going to deal with these chemistry questions, you know, especially I also think it's very important to do that with a player like Karl-Anthony Towns, who's already going to have questions playing in this market, playing in Madison Square Garden, playing with all the national TV games the Knicks have this season, playing with the pressure. And guess what? Yes, Julius Randle had a pretty up and down fan base here, divided fan base into, you know, Randle fans to Randle critics. But make no mistake, the guy produced here. The guy made all-star teams here. He wasn't successful in the playoffs, but he's a big part of why the Knicks are in this position. And guess what? He also had a lot of critics about his value. Well, we didn't have to give up that many first-round picks because we put him in the deal. So give Julius his respect as a player that Minnesota, with a star like Anthony Edwards, had the confidence to make such a move for a guy that now they have to make a decision on, from a financial standpoint, on whether they want to put him as a future piece. Now, that's their decision to make. And yet they wanted to make that decision. That tells you that Randle's value around the league was probably a little higher than what we have thought around, in terms of at least in the New York market, where he was criticized heavily here. So I think you got to give Randle his respect. But overall, this is what a night, man. What a move.
Rambo, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hello.
Yeah.
Something like that, JD?
What's good, man?
What's good, fellas? What's good? You know I had to call in on a late night.
Let's go.
Hey, I'm going to say this rapid fire real quick, man. I wasn't a big fan of Julius Randle being traded this summer, but if we were going to, I'm glad it's like this. Super all-star for an all-star, you know, I can't be mad at that, man. Let this front office cook. I like what's going on right now. You know, Karl-Anthony Towns, you're on probation. I'm gonna leave it just like that. You're on probation.
That's fair.
Okay. But I still have high expectations for you and what you bring to the team right now. Julius Randle, it's your time now. It's your time, to go purify yourself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka. Boy, because you out of here. I felt like I was settling, man. I felt like I was settling.
Yeah.
All right. So that's what it is, man. We doing big things. I'm ready. Oh, man. Let's go. Let's go, man. Everybody hold your head right now, man. We got a front office that's making moves right now, man.
Let's go.
Salute to everybody out here, man. Good night, y'all.
It's just so funny, man. It's like, it's just hard to, like, people like, man, how do you feel? How do you feel? Like, this is new. This is all new. Julius has been here for how many years now? Is it 6? This was going into year 6? Or no, maybe 5. Year 5 with the Knicks, right?
Year 5.
So
And you wanted to see him get this.
I did want to
opportunity,
see the Julius redemption
right?
story. I did want to see that. But yeah.
What's crazy about this entire
It's
thing
new.
is that from the 2019-2020 season, right? Nobody except Mitchell Robinson is on this team from that roster. The only consistent player on this roster has been Mitchell Robinson. He's continues to be the longest tenured Knick. But I'm looking at this depth chart, guys, and we can, as of right now, we can kind of piece together who the starting 5 is. But looking at that bench unit, because that's been the Knicks' strength, man, even with Randle, right? When the We Here season, it was Derrick Rose, Manuel Quickley, Obi Toppin, you bring in everybody else, right? Mitchell Robinson, part of that second unit too. What are we making of the second unit? Because it seems like this team went from being deep to being top heavy. What are you guys feeling? Because I'm looking at this second unit. I'm like, yes, it gives guys opportunity to show up and show out, but I feel like there's going to be a little bit of early struggles in the beginning of the season until guys figure out where they fit in for the second unit. And maybe a player just shows up, right? Yeah. Like maybe there's campaign now. Well, I know there's talk about Tower Kolek being higher on the depth chart than campaign, but does he shake his way into the rotation as a start as a veteran point guard? Like, I'm just so curious. Does Mook now get more playing time? Like what happens to all these guys that you put on to these 10-day contracts at this point? Right?
Guys, now
Landry Shamet, you signed him. Is he now more likely to make this roster because of the deal that was done? So this second unit is going to be very interesting.
I was going to say, you see the cap guy saying that Kate's Giop could be an option, and he was a guaranteed deal. Yeah. So now it makes sense, this array of moves that the Knicks made all of a sudden with Landry Shamet and Marcus Morris, and we're figuring out like, wait, these are
Brock is making his move, man.
Veteran proven shooters. And now Mook is gonna make the roster, boy.
He's Brock. That's Brock making his move, man.
So, hold on. Wait, hold on. I see the light. They knew they were gonna get Karl-Anthony Towns.
Yeah.
And they knew he's a little soft. Yeah. So they said, you know what?
Oh my God. Here we go.
Hold on. Did you hold on?
Here we go.
I see the light. Okay, Indiana Pacers. They said, wait. Our leader's Tyrese Halliburton. We need to toughen him up a little. We need to get his personality out there. So they signed James Johnson. Notice how from the moment they signed James Johnson, all of a sudden, Tyrese Halliburton wants to be a trash talker. Tyrese Halliburton wants to taunt the opposition. Tyrese Halliburton is okay with being a villain now. He's talking crazy in post-game press conferences. The Knicks signed Mook knowing they were going to get Karl-Anthony Towns. They knew. Yeah. Yo, we need to get somebody that's going to keep him focused, that's going to challenge him in the locker room, that's going to tell him, yo, leave all that fruit Diddy stuff at home. Yeah. Leave that baby oil at home.
Oh, my God.
Don't bring none of that here. You in New York now. Friday nights, we going to Dykeman. Weekends, we going to hang out. And then you're going to be ready to play basketball. And I think that's why they got Mook, bro. It's all part of a plan.
Here goes Ramona Shelbourne. Julius Randle has spent the summer rehabilitating from season-ending shoulder surgery. He and the Knicks had not made progress on contract extension this summer, sources said. She should have said CP the Fanchise said right there where it says source. It says essentially signaling the Knicks' willingness to trade him. Talks between the teams had taken place all summer, but picked up steam in the last few days when Charlotte was brought in as a third team. Yeah, let Ramona know she's a little too late.
Right.
On the details.
I mean, they got a lot of openings over there on ESPN, so she's trying out.
What they say? What they say? Low post is out of there.
Yeah.
No Woj, no low.
Woj is out of there.
And it felt funny too tonight because it was like just Shams reporting. I'm waiting,
Just
sometimes,
Yeah.
when I
Just
call
Shams,
CP,
man.
we couldn't believe it. We only had Shams tweet. CP was like, "Hold on, we need to check the account."
Yeah,
Like,
you got to.
There's no Woj.
You got to,
to
man.
confirm it. We got
You
to
got
check
to.
this.
But like I said,
Yeah.
when you call twice, that's when I figured that that's what it was going to be about. So, shout out to Kevin Etoiru. He just copped a New York versus the World snap. So shout out to Kevin, man. Shout out to Kevin. KFTV in the building. Number one show for the fans by the fans. Like, share, and subscribe. Blockbuster trade. Julius Randle and Donte DiVincenzo headed to the cold, cold world of Minnesota, Ant-Man territory. And a first-round pick, I think, for Karl-Anthony Towns. And we'll see.
Yeah, the Detroit one.
Yeah, we'll see. But, to Al's question on the rotation now, I mean, Deuce is certainly going to be the sixth man. Campaign is definitely going to get minutes. You have Precious, who's going to get minutes. Mook might get some minutes. And maybe
Mitch ain't coming back until December, January. That's that time frame.
Yeah,
I'm
Mitch
trying to
ain't
tell
coming.
you, I know people already are saying Mitch is the next guy gone, and people keep writing out Mitch just like people were writing out Deuce this whole offseason. Deuce is going to be the piece that's going to get us a backup center. Don't be surprised if Mitch this is weird relationship with him and Tibbs. I know Tibbs doesn't like his immaturity in this, but there's something there that Tibbs just likes about.
Yeah.
And although this does illustrate Tibbs' ability to adapt a little bit. Remember, there's so many. I don't know if we're going to be able to cover everything tonight. There's so many storylines with this move. How about the Tibbs, Karl-Anthony Towns relationship?
Yeah.
Where is it? Where's this relationship today?
Yeah.
How is Towns going to play under Tibbs in a second stint now in a different team, a different market?
Yeah.
How is that going to be in the locker room, in practice?
Well, remember when we had Krasinski on the first time he came on the show was when Tibbs first got hired. And that time I was talking to him about player relationships, player dynamic. Is this why the Knicks hired Mike Woodson? Mike Woodson coming to KFTV on Tuesday. So we're going to talk to Mike Woodson about that. So
Wait, Mike Woodson?
Coach Woodson is coming to KFTV on Tuesday morning. Coach Woodson's coming to KFTV, man. It's on and popping.
Yeah, and as I'm saying, like, there's a lot of storylines there, and then also when it comes to Mitch and Tibbs is showing an ability to adapt with Karl-Anthony Towns being the center. Karl-Anthony Towns is a shot blocker, although the last two seasons, and I think it's no coincidence, have been the only seasons when he hasn't averaged a full block or more for the season. And I don't think it's a coincidence because Rudy Gobert has been a Minnesota Timberwolf the last two seasons. Other than that, he's been a 1.3 to 1.7 per game shot blocker every single season prior to the last two seasons. So, however, just because Tibbs is saying, okay, you got me, Leon, I'll play this small ball game for the starting five, but at least give me that ability as a backup. I think that's where Mitch's value could come into play late in the season, being able to still give Tibbs that dynamic, at least off the bench, where now Mitch comes and takes Precious Achua's spot and gives him a backup. Remember, Mitch has already been a backup. And guess what? This might be something that Mitch has to accept, at least for the next few seasons in his career, in order to extend his career. We're talking about a 7-foot center now with multiple injuries, ankle, knees. And if I'm him, I will be a great soldier now, a good teammate, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to just be a part of a rotation, and then later on, I'll worry about becoming a starter again in the NBA.
Do you guys see Mitch
yeah.
being part of that starting five at all when he gets back? I mean, well, we can look at the depth. It's funny actually looking at ESPN's depth chart, and they got Josh Hart playing power forward with OG at small forward, Bridges at shooting guard.
That. Yeah.
And you know, do you see Mitch just making his way back into that starting rotation at all? Because there has to be an intriguing aspect where, just like out in Minnesota, you have 2 7-footers out on the floor, and you can just rotate and constantly have rim protection. And you can maybe even argue that that might be Mitch's best opportunity to even excel, because if you have 4 guys that can shoot the 3 ball, now you can run that pick and roll game with Brunson and Mitch, and it should be wide open for him to get easy dunks at that point. So Mitch, I mean, there should be no reason why we shouldn't see that lineup, but I'm just wondering if we even see that as a starting 5 moving forward, or is Tibbs just so infatuated with Josh Hart and needing that defensive grit and versatility? And you look at Karl-Anthony Towns, where, you know, he did have a better season defensively, still question marks on the defensive side of the basketball, just because you look at how they constructed that Minnesota Timberwolves team, right? Just how they surrounded him, right?
Yeah.
You leave Josh Hart out there because you know you got Brunson, you got Cat, you're going to need some defense.
Yeah.
Do you just leave Josh Hart out there for, you know, the versatility, still having that perimeter presence? Or do you, when Mitch gets healthy, say, we're going to double down on rim protection because we already got enough of the perimeter protection from Bridges and Anunoby?
I think that's tough because, like you had mentioned earlier, you got the Bostons out there. You know what I mean? You got those teams that are, it's 2024. They're starting what used to be small forwards at the 4 now. So it's like, it'd be great in theory to try that Karl-Anthony Towns, Mitchell Robinson starting 5. But, you know, when it comes down to where we're going to be at, you know, playing against like Indiana's and Boston's, and maybe you can get away with it in against Philly, but even then it's going to be a little risky. I think it just comes down to who we're playing against and who we're scouting against, and more times than not, it just does not favor a Mitchell Robinson and Cat combo, at least starting in rotation. Maybe down the line, that closing lineup, you see that if it works throughout the game, but starting, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough because there's not many teams that's going to work out in our favor with both of them on the floor, especially to start off a game.
CK, I got a question for you, man. Are you ready for play-by-play this season, bro? are you ready for play-by-play this season?
We was just getting excited about media day and sound bites, bro. What you mean? Of course, man. We got Karl-Anthony Towns, and we got all these people that are, you know, upset and feeling that type of way. The minute that dude hits a big 3, watch how fast everybody turns around, man. And I want to be there for that for sure.
Consistently.
I want to be there for that.
Consistently hitting 3s.
What you trying to say?
No,
wait, why you say it like that? What you trying to say?
He's a better shooter. He's a better shooter than Julius.
Okay, I just want to hear you say it out loud. That's all.
Yeah, I mean that's you know, yeah, that's it. But
CP just trying to throw shade, you know, in like the most you know, low key way possible.
Right.
No,
I just want to hear him say it out loud.
No, but I think it's about having options, man. Options. So like if you want to go with that Twin Tower set, you can still do that. But now you have your true stretch 5 that you could really get nice with in terms of spacing that floor, spreading it out, and getting it cracking. So you can go with different paths. This is something new for Tibbs.
We got something for all the ops. We play the Sixers. Don't worry about it, Mitch. We got you.
Right.
Get healthy.
Right.
We got Mitch. Though, yes, Karl-Anthony Towns is a 7-footer. He may struggle defensively against Embiid in terms of the physicality, but guess what? Embiid gonna have to defend. Embiid's gonna have to defend Karl-Anthony Towns and Brunson on the pick and roll. How about that pick and pop? We never got to see that materialize.
We never got to see that
with Jalen Brunson. I thought a lot of it was just the lack of confidence and just the personnel wasn't there yet. It's gonna be there this season.
Well, like I had mentioned to you guys, with the Julius at the 5. I mentioned to you that they were not high on it because they did not feel like, number one, he could execute in pick and roll situations. And then obviously on the defensive side, it was a defense. So they were not as high on that. And that's what it is. That's why you didn't see it as much.
Makes sense.
How do you know that Julius has a feel as a 5 to go from spot to spot on the floor as a 3-point shooter? In other words, that's money for Karl-Anthony Towns. Karl-Anthony Towns knows when to shift left, when to shift right when he's at the 3-point line, because that's a natural feel to him. Karl-Anthony Towns can shoot a few feet behind the 3-point line.
Right.
Does Julius Randle have that feel of shiftiness, of awareness, of IQ to understand now you're a stretch 5? Remember, Tibbs said it, 15 to 18 minutes, maybe. And this is the funny thing. Tibbs was welcome to do it for 15 to 18 minutes. Karl-Anthony Towns is going to do it as a starter for 30 plus.
Yeah.
That right there tells you, to your point, CP, the difference in what they feel Karl-Anthony Towns brings at that spot versus Julius Randle.
I want to salute our guy, John Shin, fellas. A $300 super chat from John Shin, Fanchise channel member. Says, next time you're getting burgers in the village, come by for a glass of champagne. But what the family show just happened? Cat and Bridges in the same offseason. I hate losing Jew, but this is an absolute steal. So he's with it. He's definitely with it. And shout out to John Shin, man. $300 super chat, man. Definitely appreciate the support. Yeah, they did make a blockbuster trade for Cat and Bridges, but weren't all the signs there? Remember when we had Marks on? Like, everybody knew that this was gonna be the off season that they had to make their big push. Now take a step back and take a look.
Yeah, because of how the new CBA is set up, right? For contracts wise. And so,
right,
you know, the way the Knicks look at this, and I said this at the top of the show, is that you have this guy for multiple years under Karl-Anthony Towns. So you don't have to worry about negotiating, right? You already got Brunson on extension. You got OG. You got Cat. The next guy will be Bridges, and you also have Josh Hart. You have essentially the starting 5 all locked up for the next 3, 4, 5 years, whatever it may be. So it's just telling you how the Knicks are trying to think ahead with the new CBA in place, because they just don't want to just wastefully spend money. They also had to look at what assets do we have that we got to move that we're not going to use.
Yeah.
So when you're starting to start trading first round picks, because there's no way in hell where you're going to see 4, 5, 6 rookies on a Tom Thibodeau team. Even that's not even that would be possible. But it's just at this point, the front office had to say, all right, we got to look towards the future. We got to make a move now. And look, the fact they didn't extend Julius was one sign, but moving forward, they just looking for ways to just improve this roster, to keep this, just to keep the floor open for Brunson. But going back to like everything that we're seeing right now, right? I just want to know, who's the other playmaker, man? Who's the other playmaker for this team? Because that was something that we saw in the Miami Heat series, right?
Yeah.
Is that Quick didn't produce, and all eyes were on Brunson, and it's like, all right, we got to stop that guy because he's going to have the rock in his hand at all times, and he's going to be the guy setting everybody up. Who is now the guy on this team that's going to be that second facilitator, because it can't all be Brunson, man.
Yeah.
He's going to have to take breaks. Someone's going to have to get out there and run the show, or even be on the floor at the same time as Brunson to now create that dynamic offense, right? Because we even see when you watch the Indiana Pacers before they got Pascal Siakam, it was too formulaic. It was like, all right, Tyrese Halliburton runs the show.
Yeah.
He's gonna spread it out. We already know what's going to happen. You get Pascal Siakam, we're like, oh, now they got 2 guys.
He changed
great
everything
offense
for them.
Yes.
Siakam changed everything for them.
So now for the Knicks, do you have confidence that Cat can do that? Or where are you getting that from on this roster? Or is there another move to be made?
Right now, it's Mikal Bridges.
Or even Hart. I'm looking at Hart too for something like that.
Yeah.
We got the answers.
Yeah.
What's the answer then, JD? What's the answer?
What you mean, what's the answer? Wait, why are you acting like Karl-Anthony Towns can't take nobody off the dribble? Why are you acting like you haven't seen Karl-Anthony Towns hit somebody with the pull back, step back, jump shot? Come on, man, don't sleep. But I don't think that's going to be his main role. As CP mentioned in CK, Mikal Bridges, I mean, you're going to have to utilize some of his Nets usage, some of the growth he made as a Brooklyn Nets. Now I think they may use that more. You see, it's so interesting because with Julius, I actually thought Mikal Bridges' role could have been more of the Phoenix Sun Mikal Bridges when they made that finals run where he was just a 3-and-D player because of how ball dominant Julius is. I just felt that for Julius to still excel in this group, he still needed to have the basketball. Whereas now, where Karl-Anthony Towns is more willing to be a perimeter player, Karl-Anthony Towns might give you 20 points a night just on jump shots from the three-point line. Like, that's the type of game he has. But then from a playmaking standpoint, 3-and-D guy just to help Julius have spacing. With Karl-Anthony Towns doesn't need the spacing. Julius does need the spacing because Julius is more of an isolation player, where Karl-Anthony Towns is more of a, catch and shoot, catch one dribble, catch and go. That's the type of player he is. So it's funny how one player could be better than the next, but as you see with what I just finished saying, everything in basketball, everything in sports is always going to be about fit, especially in today's era of professional sports. It's all about style, personnel, and fit.
Let's get some more people on the Discord. We're going to load them up on the Discord. A lot of callers, rapid fire takes, people. Corso 117. If you're on the Discord, go ahead and unmute your mic. Corso 117.
Hey, fellas. Thanks for having me on.
Yep, no problem, man.
It's crazy. I did like a complete 180 on how I felt about this trade once the news broke. At first, I was kind of like upset. I think it was coming from an emotional place where it's like I really wanted to see Julius get his shot to be healthy with this team and see if he could recapture some of that magic he had, with this roster, adding Bridges back in January. But since I've thought about it more, it's like, for all the talk that has been had like on this broadcast or in the past about asset management, I think this is like a masterclass in asset management. I'll tell you why. This is selling Donte DiVincenzo, as much as I love him, at his absolute peak, because although he's a team player, his minutes are getting reduced. And what is his role with this team? And the moment that you start to see him huff and puff or look down, like in a big moment where he felt like he should have been in at the end of a game, that's lost leverage for a potential trade. That's lost value, right?
Fair.
If Julius comes out, he's not healthy, he doesn't look the same, that's lost value, right? That's lost leverage. And it's funny because they've been reporting, and it seems like everybody is consistently saying this now, that this trade really came together in the last like 24, 48 hours. And I actually believe that because of the Tibbs interview. When he was saying that they were talking about going small with Julius, I really believe that's like what he meant. Like, I think this really did come to pass all in the last day or so. And I think the last hot take I kind of have here is that I don't think there have been people online saying that the news about Robinson not being healthy or potentially not being healthy until December motivated this trade to happen. I don't believe that, because yes, it's huge for us to not have like a true center, a healthy center on the roster. In a playoff context, I think that's absolutely the case. If you're having to face Embiid 7 times, right? Or a Miles Turner 7 times. Yes, that's definitely a huge factor, but not every team is going to have in the regular season a Miles Turner or Joel Embiid. So I really think that this came down to like, they need to make this move. They felt like they wanted to make this move now. They felt like they had the most leverage that they're going to have going into the season. And now it really opens up some really interesting narratives going into training camp. Like, now that that guard spot opens up, who's going to fill it? Yeah. I think it's either going to be Campaign or Kolek.
Cam will get it. It's just being based off of vet. The Kolek got to earn it. you know, and they put him in a good spot where he doesn't have to rush. Take his time and you know, earn his situational minutes and see what he can handle.
I totally agree. And I think now you get to play McBride in his natural spot as an off-ball guard. And maybe he does add some playmaking to his game, but
yeah.
But that's pretty much that. Those are my thoughts. I'm kind of really liking the trade now. I know there's a ton of people wanting to call in, but again, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. And I'll see you guys around.
Call back anytime, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Shout out to Will Colwell, Fanchise channel member. $10 super chat says, welcome, Cat. Trust the front office. Donte will be missed, and Randle was a good soldier, but progress requires sacrifice. Shout out to Sean Grant, who's joined the Fanchise channel members. Everybody that did leave a super chat, all of your super chats will be read. We're just trying to get a smooth show going here, so we don't want to stop for too long to read all the super chats. We want to have some balance, get the callers in, get the host takes, see what's coming in on Twitter. Things are still fluid right now. Karl-Anthony Towns, Julius Randle, and Donte DiVincenzo. Blockbuster trade for the New York Knicks. Like, share, and subscribe. Share this on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever you guys are into right now. Text someone or email someone. And if you guys are watching at home on your TVs or on your laptops, go ahead and tag us in an IG story. That would be nice, man. Help move the machine along. Number one show for the fans by the fans. Let's go. Okay. Zay from Maryland. Zay, go ahead and unmute your mic.
What up, fellas? How y'all doing?
Good, man. How you feeling, man?
Doing all right, man. Doing all right. Hey, I'm just gonna say this, man. I don't see the same energy. I feel like this trade needs a little bit more energy, a little bit more, excitement, man.
I think it's cautious optimism, at least for me. I can only speak for me, because even when I had heard these rumblings back in July, I told y'all from the jump I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? And then to add DiVincenzo on top of it, I don't know. I just got to see the product.
Yeah, but I've been with this channel since before the KP trade, man.
Yeah.
The KP trade was a crusher, right? And this is like so mellow, like across the board. All of the responses is like so like up and down. It's just crazy, right?
Because you're trading a question mark for a question mark. Let's put it that way. You know what I'm saying? You're trading a question mark for a question mark. So let's just see, man.
I'm in the same place, man. I'm up and down about it. I've been looking at stats. I've been looking at the Tibbs years in Minnesota. What was Cat stats during those years? Like, the only thing I could really hang my hat on is Cat was a 2-time All-Star and also a most improved player with Tibbs in Minnesota. So my hope is we get a improved Cat when it comes to like being a center. I don't want him to be a 4. I want him to be that center that he used to be, and I think that's what Tibbs is going to have him doing. Tibbs is going to probably turn him into the modern day Joakim Noah in a sense, right?
Yeah.
Just with a better shot. So I'm hoping we're going to get a completely different person. Not saying he was bad in Minnesota. It was just inconsistent. I don't know. It was just too much of a joke in Minnesota. And it was just like, all right, but if we can get a better Cat, I'm cool with it. Of course, the Randle thing, man, we got to give a shout out and give respect to Randle. I don't care all the stuff that people like to talk, the crap that he's taken, his family, everybody's been fully involved in New York. They've been he is definitely the epitome of the turnaround that we had.
Sure.
We were at the very low when it came to losing out on KD, Kyrie, and everything, right? And Randle came in, put his head down, and put in work, right? So I don't want to necessarily miss that or disrespect that. We got to put some respect on it from all across the board. And at the end of the day, he just did not have the pieces at first and eventually got the pieces. I'm going to keep it short, even though I've already talked. But at the end of the day, man, we're going to see. That's all I can say. We're going to see.
Yeah. No, look, he certainly deserves the credit for laying that foundation here. But it was tough hearing, from a lot of fans, like them using that as a justification as why he's going to be here long term. And every time I would see fans make that comment or post that, I'm like, not so fast. Like, not so fast. Like, sentiment is not business, is not basketball. It's a completely different thing. You could come to the Once a Nick, Always a Nick cookout down the road. You see the Legends Lounge. Legends Lounge popping right now. You know what I'm saying? But that's not how these terms are being made in dollars and cents. Like, it's a different thing. And so I think that what the fan sentiment and where the organization was is not, it's not even. It's not even. But nevertheless, yeah, thank him for his service. No question about it.
Do you think Julius is gonna say goodbye?
Yeah. I think he will, for sure.
He'll put out a post.
Yeah,
I expect
for
that.
sure.
I hope so, because he faced a lot of heat here.
Yeah.
He might be like, man, F all of y'all.
Nah, I think he will. And I don't think this came as a surprise to him either.
I don't think so either.
You know what I'm saying?
Can I throw out a conspiracy theory though with it?
Yeah.
I think the Knicks reached out to Hornets for some type of trade for the center. And
Bridges.
Hornets was probably said, nah, but we can help you with another trade. And I think that made the Knicks go back to Minnesota. I think Charlotte I think the Hornets probably gave them an opening for them to be able to complete that trade that they've been trying all summer. And that's why it's going so quick just now.
Well, what about this, CP?
Yeah.
What if you mentioned this event that Julius had in New York with the Knicks greats and Thibodeau? What if he didn't know then that he was going to get traded? You think he may feel salty right now?
Certainly possible.
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, if that's true,
certainly
he
possible.
definitely does.
Certainly possible.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Well, we'll find out on January 17th.
There you go.
When the New York Knicks and the Minnesota Timberwolves face off.
There you go.
That's the first time?
I just added
No, that's not the
game.
first. That's not the first. That's at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah. They actually tip
That's
off in the preseason.
the home one. Okay.
They actually beat in the preseason. But I don't think, he's probably not going to play in that.
Yeah, he ain't going to play. Right.
Yeah.
Yo, you imagine? Oh,
Yeah, another game.
You
another
know
game
he's
to
gonna
add
want
to the list.
Not only is he gonna want to cook us, he's gonna want to make sure that y'all know this guy's soft.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Because remember how he
happen.
went against Obi in Indiana, and that
Oh, yeah.
wasn't even that serious.
Oh, yeah.
Like Randle, you didn't need to go to that. You didn't need to go that hard against a bench player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine what he's gonna try to do against Karl-Anthony Towns. So
Yeah.
And I know for a fact that JD and CK are going to be taking some hires on Underdog Fantasy.
Oh, man.
Did Slate just get crazy on opening night or what?
Oh, it was already gonna get crazy. Yeah, it was already gonna get crazy, man. We're gonna do the live show from Slate. We got the Papa Shot tournament going. We added more games to the upstairs. We got I got a surprise. I don't even want to say what the surprise is for the attendees, but CK, you would know as a carnival person. I think you have an idea of what we bringing in to kind of liven up the party.
As a carnival person, what is CK, a dragon or something? Yeah,
Hey man, you never seen a unibrow, bro? Come on, bro, chill out.
And JD, y'all know, man. Well, yeah, we definitely bringing the flags in there. We gonna have the towels, and we giving away 2 tickets to the home opener. So, but the people got to come in attendance. They got to come to Slate to be part of that. We are giving away 2 tickets to the home opener at Slate that night during the season opener against the Celtics, man. So Slate is going to be action-packed, man. It's going to be action-packed. Plus surprise guests for the live show from the venue.
From a national scale,
yeah,
we talk about, we here in the New York market have always clamored for Julius Randle to get national respect.
Yeah.
Right? Even with the accolades he's gotten. Karl-Anthony Towns he has that from a national standpoint. People view him as a star, as an all-star, like a legitimate all-star. He has questions to answer as well as Julius as a playoff performer. Although he's had better shooting numbers than Julius in the playoffs, but at least from a national perspective, Towns is viewed as a more talented, more valuable, a better player. So even from a national scale, the New York Knicks franchise, they're going to be viewed as a more talented, at least starting roster. So it's just going to be interesting, I think, the coverage that the Knicks may get this season. not only here locally, but also from a national stage.
Yeah.
So, and also I think they're number 4th in the league, or 3 in most national televised games this season. So just like I mentioned, opening night at Slate, this like the headlines and the content this season is going to be astronomical, because I think even if you feel that the Knicks didn't upgrade, let's say you're one of those diehard Randle fans that you just believe that Randle's a better player, you believe the Knicks were better with Randle, the move still elevates the expectations. It still elevates the interest and the intrigue on this team now. Like now, and that's what I'm saying, from a national and an international scale, this move is going to add more intrigue into, will this work or not? Sometimes it's not even about the move. Sometimes you see it with the Lakers. It's sometimes not. The Lakers make moves that just buys you in as a fan because you just want to know if it's going to work or not.
Yeah.
And I think now, with this move, a lot of fans and non-Knicks fans are going to be tuned into the New York Knicks just to see how all these moves in this offseason with Mikal and Karl-Anthony Towns, how all this is going to fit together, as well as Brunson adding another year now, because this is, a lot of people forget too, I think this is the first season where, going into it, Brunson is known as a superstar around the league. A lot of people now have added him into that superstar club. So that also adds intrigue for the New York Knicks for this upcoming season. So there's going to be so much to talk about, and so much intrigue, and it's going to be absolutely amazing.
I think there's, JD, to your point on like questions, something that I've been thinking, and you brought it up, was that, are there more questions now about the Knicks, or they're like, and I'm talking about from a standpoint where, once they got Bridges, it was like, okay, this team is now, thrusted themselves into being the second best team in the East, hands down, no questions asked. This should be the team that sees the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals, because they were already almost slated last season to be that team. And while we still had questions, could Randle still produce in the postseason? I think that this team has even more questions now than it did prior to this trade. Whereas, yes, this team on paper should still be talented. This team should still be the second best team in the Eastern Conference. But to your point, I'm looking at it, can Cat meet the expectations that comes with that contract that you pointed out already? Can Cat meet the expectations of fitting in? Can Cat meet the expectations of, solidifying himself as that number 2? Or is it going to be Bridges, right? So I'm looking forward to this season more in the aspect of, there's just so many questions on how is it all going to play out? Can Tibbs handle? Can he be more of an offensive mastermind than defensive mastermind? Because that's what you have now. You have more scoring. You have more potent scoring than you've ever had with Cat at the 5 than you had ever on this team as a whole. So there's just so many questions from, can Tibbs do it? Can Cat handle the limelight? Can even Brunson take another step forward, right? Because yes, he's now considered a superstar, but does he even have another level, right? It's like that year where we saw Steph Curry just he won the championship, but then that following season, it was like, oh, wait, this guy is just a video game now. He can pull up from anywhere. He is truly unstoppable. Can Brunson get to that level where he just makes the game look so easy, where it's just, he's just a grandmaster in chess almost, just going against regular folks. And that's what I'm looking at for this season. I think there's more questions now than there was prior to the trade.
Well, when you add in Cat and Mikal Bridges, it's a different team.
Yeah.
It's a different team. And now you have the Mitch factor, you have injury question marks with Ochi. On the flip side to what looks to be a more balanced and well-rounded roster, there's still question marks and how these guys gel. This is a brand new team. And it's still Brunson's team, Brunson's show. But with Bridges and Towns, this is brand new, man. Brand new.
And what about this tweet from Ian Begley? CP, you talked a lot about the fit and how they view Towns, and how this goes into their search this offseason for the quote-unquote backup center. Well, Ian Begley tweets, Knicks per league sources. And Ian Begley, he reports it right on the thing line where he says you could read between the lines. You could see this is what they actually feel. Ian Begley says Knicks, per league sources in touch with the team, feel they had a great opportunity to address their biggest need at center in trading for a 4-time All-Star and 2-time All-NBA player in Karl-Anthony Towns. They see Towns, 28 years old, as a great fit with their other high-end talent and someone who complements the rest of the core well. Those league sources say. They also feel Towns gives them a strong opportunity for sustained success, per league sources. So that tells you in terms of his contract, the longevity of this move as it pertains to, I think when you read between the lines, that basically tells you we're either going to sign Julius Randle long-term and commit to him, or we're going to go another route. And the Knicks decided to go another route, in terms of giving Julius a long-term commitment.
Yeah. This is true, man. Streaky on the Discord. Go ahead and unmute your mic. Streaky going once. Do we have Streaky?
Yo, my bad. Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear, man. How you feel, man?
What's going? I don't know, bro. I guess shock, right?
Yeah.
It's just very shocking. Who saw this coming with less than a month to go until the season opener? So,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this trade. Does Vegas have us? Is it a greater chance to win a championship now?
Did the line change? Anybody know?
Did the line Did the line change? So I don't know. I think the jury's still out, obviously, but it's a good basketball fit. It's going to be interesting to see Brunson now. I think he's going to take maybe a different approach to his game now. Maybe be a little bit more pass friendly potentially. I mean, he's still going to have the ball ISO down the stretch, but there's going to be a lot of pick and pop opportunities now with Towns. I see a lot of people calling Towns soft. I don't know if anybody remembers during that Denver series, Gobert was getting exposed, bro, by Jokic, like exposed. And not saying it's hard to stop Jokic, obviously, but Towns was doing it all right. He was holding his own. But it sucks, bro. I mean, Randle came here. I think another caller touched upon it. He came here when nobody else wanted to come, Yeah. So, but this is a business. And out of all the sports, I'll tell you, basketball is truly a business. So I think, and one other point, I think losing Donte on a reasonable contract it sucks. I mean, if this was Randle for Towns straight up, yeah, I'm totally for it. Even that pick. I'm a little surprised. I don't know if the salary matches up. Maybe you guys know, but if it was Randle and Deuce for Towns, does that still work?
I think it still depends on the third team and what the Knicks are giving up in those sign and trade scenarios, right? Because Deuce's contract is only like $3-4 million.
Right. Yeah.
And Dante's is around 11 off of that mid-level exception that they got last year. So with Julius is 27, Dante's 11. I think the remaining was 8.8 million is what they need to make up. And according to some of the cap gurus out there, they intend to do so with sign and trades with some of their back end of the rotation guys, minimum contract guys.
Daquan and Bates and them,
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Last point. So with Donte, our bench now, bro. Like you're asking Deuce to step up now.
Yeah.
Like it's a huge step up. I mean, he's going to be our sixth man off the bench with Precious. I don't know necessarily. I don't know about you guys, but I don't know if I like Hart starting. Even he'll get his 38 minutes a game, but I like him sixth man off the bench. So I mean, it's a nightmare feeling to know potentially. I don't think it's going to happen, but maybe a guy like Shamba could start. I don't want to hear that.
No way.
Nah.
Hart is such a Tibbs guy that's when we were talking about the rotation stuff. I was like, yo, Hart is still going to find a way to close. And I was saying even if they did have Julius here, you could still go with your Brunson, your three wings. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you might not even have to close with Julius out there. But yeah, I think Hart's role is still going to be prominent with this team, and they're going to need him big time.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yeah, man. And so Donte, right? Like top 5 3-point percentage. Like he wasn't going to take 20 shots a game anyways.
Yeah.
So we knew he was going to take a back seat, but like it would have been cool just seeing like we're going for a championship. So, but from a sentimental side, like it just sucks not seeing those four on the court together. And man, that FaceTime call, you remember that? Damn, that's not going to age well. But CP and you boys, thank you for taking my call.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate the call.
Oh,
it's a cold,
CP,
it's a cold business, man.
What's the 9-man rotation opening night? This is the roster.
9-man rotation. 9-man rotation opening night is gonna be at guard, number 11, Jalen Brunson. Oh, this is in Boston. This is in Boston.
Who's the shooting guard?
It's gonna be hard, man. It's gonna be hard, man. Josh Hart, Mr. Everything, is gonna find his way in there. The roommates. It's the roommates backcourt.
He gonna be the 2, not the 4?
I said maybe even at the 4. Like he's gonna be out there. Put it that way. He will be out there. Yeah. Hart is gonna be out there. You need his rebounding, transition. You need everything. He's Mr. Everything, Mr. Utility. He's starting. So the roommates is starting, right? You got Mikal, OG, and Cat.
That's 5. Yep. That's the starting 5.
And Cat, and against Boston, that's great.
That's a perfect
That's a
lineup
perfect 5 for Boston without Porzingis.
And now with no Mitch, we get to the 4 men off the bench. Who do you got?
Yeah. All right. So I said OG and Cat, right? So off the bench, Deuce is loose. 6 man. 6 man of the year. At the best contract in the NBA. Could be vying for 6 man. Deuce.
Need 3 more because Tim's not about to run. Is Tim's gonna run 8 game 1 of 82?
Jay, don't act like you don't think he would run the 8-man rotation. He could. He could.
Man. It's Deuce. It's Campaign. It's Precious. And it's Shamet.
Look.
We're just not going to throw Jericho Sims in there? What's happened to Jericho?
Sims going to be it.
Yeah. Sims.
How about Mook? You put Shamet over Mook?
No, forget Shamet. It's Deuce, it's Payne, it's Precious, it's Sims.
I am not ruling out Karlik, bro. Tom
Thibodeau, Precious 4, Sims at the 5 of the bench.
Yeah.
He's not gonna go Mook.
Nah. Mook is break glass.
No, Mook is not playing. Mook
he's locker room.
You mentioned James Johnson. He's gonna be exactly like James Johnson.
Yeah,
being tough on the bench every time.
So y'all all in agreement. Sims, Precious, Deuce,
and Payne.
Yeah, as the 4 off the bench on opening night.
Yeah,
interesting.
And then depending on the situation with Mitch, I see trade deadline. You either get Precious or Mitch gone for bench help, or for another bench shooter.
You're gonna say you're gonna trade Mitch for another.
I don't know.
Shooter.
I'm saying those are because you got to look at it like.
I think
tradable guys. The only tradable guys you have left is Deuce, Precious, and Mitch.
The only way Mitch is getting traded is if Jericho Sims takes a big step forward.
Yeah.
Yo, I just don't know if Mitch is gonna get traded. I think he might survive.
He might.
I think he will.
Because the trade deadline is what, February?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's gonna come back in January. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because I know a lot of people got upset at the report, and I actually had a different take even before this, a different perspective even before this trade, and I felt that the Knicks actually, I see a lot of people freaking out. I'm like, I don't know why y'all mad. This is actually a positive report. JD, what do you mean? This guy doesn't come back in January. He's always hurt. Blah blah blah. I said, wait, hold on. Don't y'all always complain about the way that we overplay players? Don't y'all see true championship contending teams? Didn't y'all see how Joe Mazzulla and these guys managed the Celtics last year? Don't y'all want us to enter the championship window? This is what you do when you believe you could be a championship team. You don't worry about the regular season. You try to game plan for the playoffs. And guess what? Mitch may be ready in November. But the Knicks are saying, bro, if you're scheduled to be ready in November, we're going to give you another month and a half. We're not even going to play around because you know what's something else happens with Mitch? Even when Mitch is healthy, it seems like Mitch needs another month and a half just to get in basketball.
He's got to ramp up. Yeah,
and if you've seen the way that they've managed Mitch recently is it seems like they put him on the court when he's medically cleared to play. But remember, when you're medically cleared to play, athletes are different. You have athletes that when the medicals clear you to play, they can go right in. They need a couple games, a couple practice. They're right in game shape. And you have a guy like Mitch who seems to just need more time just to get in a groove, just to get in rhythm, just to get in physical shape, just to build his endurance. And I think the Knicks now are trying to get something out of this investment on this contract. And they're just saying, listen, we're going to make another move with Karl-Anthony Towns, and we're just going to make sure that, bro, when you come back, we're not worrying about you needing another month to get in shape. You're going to be ready, and you're just going to need games to get into in-game rhythm, but not in-game shape. So I am totally fine with the Knicks taking the position on Mitch of waiting for January. I don't care if they wait till the last month. I just need Mitch to be ready to play Joel Embiid in the playoffs 100%. Like, we're at that point where I don't care about what Mitch does in the regular season. I just need him to play in the playoffs. And guess what? His value might have actually gone up for this team because you have Karl-Anthony Towns at the 5, and he is going to have a problem defending Joel Embiid. We might have to play the Sixers before we even get to the Eastern Conference Finals. And, oh, boy, this team better get to the Eastern Conference Finals. So you have to game plan to play a Sixers team before, depending on how seeding goes, because if you're the 2 seed, you're probably going to play the Bucks or the Sixers in the second round, and you have to, prepare yourself for that matchup. So I actually like the way the Knicks are saying they're confident he's going to be back, but they're going to be extra precautionary on his rehab.
Shout out to Arm Grayson, $20 super chat, says Randle is not better. My Lakers didn't pay. Randle is not better. My Lakers didn't pay him off his rookie contract. So shrugs. The Knicks have size now. There's no question. Cat has to step up. This is great at the front office move. I wish we would have this on my Lakers. So shout out to Arm Grayson. He's a Laker fan. He's weighing in. But drops us some love, man. Also says I disagree. Mitch can't stay healthy. He needs to be traded. All right, so Arm Grayson, man. Appreciate the love. Laker fan. Spending some Skrilla tonight, showing us some love, man. So definitely appreciate that. Zach Nitchie on the Discord. Rapid fire, folks. Rapid fire on your takes. One take, and let's go. Zach
Test
Nitchie.
1 2.
Let's go.
Hear me? Y'all hear me?
Loud and clear. How you feeling?
CP, JD, Alex, CK, thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
Still in complete and utter shock. This is definitely something that, of course, CP, you were on. I heard there's an opening at ESPN. I think you should take it. When I've heard all this news about Cat and everything, I've scoffed at it. My first reaction to the trade, I did not like it, especially for 2 guys, especially for Julius. He came here. Just shout out to him, which, we've criticized him a lot, and it's been warranted as well, but he came here when no one else wanted to come here, and he laid the foundation. So all respect to him. It's tough to see him go. It's tough to see Donte go, especially after the year he had. He came into himself here as well. But the more I listen to you guys talk about it and everyone talk about it, you want to go for the ship. You gotta make these moves. And for a guy who's going to be able to stretch this floor out for Brunson, you're going to have pretty much a 5 out here for Brunson. I'm not afraid to say it. This dude may average near 30 this year with all this spacing that he's going to get. You're buying into him. You're committed to these guys. Once you hopefully re-sign Mikal, you're going to have these guys under contract for hopefully this window you got. Yeah. So it's tough to see these guys go. I'm rooting for Cat. I know he's soft, but I hope Tibbs and this staff really toughens him up here and lets him know that we need him. And I was just to think before I head out here, I'm asking you guys a question. If we keep Mitch and maybe we have Mitch and Cat as our two guys at the 5. When Mitch is healthy and back, do you guys think Tibbs maybe experiments there with a Cat at the 4 and Mitch at the 5 sometimes? See, maybe in playoffs we get that, maybe not. Just asking you guys how you would feel about that. And yeah, but thanks for taking my call. Feel much better about this trade than I did, but I just want to see how it works out. But this team's got a direction and they want to go for it, so I can't hate it. Thanks for taking my call, guys. You guys have a good night. Thanks,
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, man. Call back anytime. Yeah, I think Alex had brought that point up with Towns and Mitch. Could we see those lineups? I think absolutely you can. I don't see why not, man. Book from Queens. Book, go ahead and unmute your mic. Rapid fire. Let's go.
Yeah, I love this show because not an hour after Karl-Anthony Towns trade, we seen three straight faces on the screen, and 4, if we count CK, talking about how does this affect Mook Morris and Landry Shamet. I love you guys. Love you guys.
Yeah, appreciate it.
So, y'all know, I've been saying chestnut checkers with this front office. I started trusting them about 2 years ago, where I was just like, I'm all for the Doomer bandwagon. I'm all in, believe in Leon and the crew. And we've been hearing the smoke about Cat for a long time. And honestly, all the way up until this year, I was against it because Cat is soft. He don't play a lot of defense. And let's be honest with ourselves, looking to our souls, he kind of corny, right? He got a little New Jersey in him, and we don't like it.
No disrespect.
Keep it real,
shout
right?
out
Keep
to
it
the
real.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. But after getting OG and Mikal Bridges, this is a much better move for the New York Knicks, because not only are we a much better team, compare us to the Timberwolves when Tibbs was there. It was a disaster zone over there. Tibbs was trying to get them to do a whole bunch of things. They were young. The front office didn't agree and all this other stuff. So you heard all kinds of crazy stories. We created a very, very stable culture to bring Cat into. And so when you make a team very good, your assignment goes from the general to let's be a pretty good team, let's get better, let's learn how to play defense, to the specific. We got to figure out how to beat Philly. We got to figure out how to beat Milwaukee, Boston, and you could throw in one of them other teams that we probably going to beat anyway, right?
Okay.
I'd say this last thing. We are a nightmare to guard, and on the other end of the floor, for all of Cat's deficiencies, he's not just a good shooter, he's an eager shooter. And that makes a big, big difference in playoff rotations. And so what we're giving them on the offensive side of the floor, on the defensive side of the floor, Paul George, Tyrese Halliburton, all these guys do not want to be dealing with Hart, Bridges, and OG Anunoby. So I love this trade for us going forward. These guys had the vision for years. We saw the smoke. Now we see the fire. Happy to have Cat on board.
Yeah. There you go, man. Appreciate the call, man. Call back anytime, bro.
Mikal Bridges is about to go off this year.
Let's go.
Watching these highlights, we're talking about Brunson and usage and stuff. Man, Mikal Bridges.
Yeah.
I'm keeping my eye on Mikal Bridges this year. We talked about JD talked about, Brooklyn, Mikal, and, we thought we were going to get Phoenix. But nah, this dude is going to be the Phoenix Nets Knicks version of Mikal Bridges, because the amount of attention Cat's going to garner now, because to the point of the last call, he's a willing shooter. So defenders know that. They know he is going to look for his shot, just like Jalen Brunson going to look for his shot. Mikal Bridges went to Brooklyn and found his shot.
Yeah.
Mikal Bridges found confidence in his time in Brooklyn. So now when, shots are available now that Donte's, unfortunately in Minnesota as well. Man, the more I'm listening to these conversations and these calls and us talking about it, Mikal Bridges
buying in.
I'm already a huge Mikal Bridges fan, but now I'm all the stock. I'm looking at Mikal for sure, because he gonna open up for sure.
The one thing I'm looking forward to is watching how opposing teams guard the Knicks, because having centers that can't shoot the three, it's one thing where you've always had to watch Mitch, right? Whether it goes against KP or Brook Lopez, and you have to see how he chases out to the perimeter to just guard the three, right? I'm looking at that for the Knicks. It's like now opposing teams have to do that. You think about Milwaukee with Brook Lopez. They can't just leave Cat open. You
Yeah.
look at, when you go against Miles Turner and the Indiana Pacers, they can't leave Cat open. Whether it be, we already talked about the Celtics, Embiid, whoever. Having Cat, Knicks literally looked at saying, everyone that we got to face in the East has a center that can shoot the 3-ball. And it's just, I'm looking forward to seeing how opposing teams have to switch up now, because it's one thing to say, all right, we already know that this is a very traditional team, the way that was constructed. You look at Brunson all the way down to Mitch, right? So it will be fun to see now teams like, you're going to have to watch Brook Lopez have to chase out to the perimeter. And you can just see it breaking down. If Cat passes it out to Bridges finds Brunson or whoever, and someone can just drive and get the easy layup. It's just the way just to make the game much more easier. So that's just something that's going to be fun to watch.
JD, I'm pulling up the tweet you put up back from July 9th when we had posted this. 413 comments on this tweet. Let's go through some of them and shout out some of them. Let's pull out some receipts here live on Knicks Fan TV. Let's see. Here's some interesting ones. Okay, here's JP. Excess cash 718. Engagement bait. Knicks don't want Cat or his huge salary. Okay. All right. Let's see what else. He is way off base. Here's DJ Vigi. Way off base. Okay. All right, DJ Vigi. Shout out to you, man. Who else we got here? I call BS.
We're definitely going to give them the shout outs they want tonight.
Yeah. Hoop Alchemy. Slow summer, CP. Question mark. Yes. No, not a slow summer at all. Very action-packed summer. Very action-packed summer. The Quiz 40. And who exactly is your source? Sergeant Sources. All right, so he put me and Robert Randolph in the same boat. That was a big mistake by him. Absolutely big mistake, man.
Oof.
Yeah. So these were funny, man. We definitely won't go through all 400. But, here's a guy. Tell CP the family show up. There you go. So there you go. Juan Chavez. There we go. Shut the family show up. There we go.
Crazy.
Who else? Raw Hebrew? Do we want to shout out Raw Hebrew? Shout out to Raw.
Oh my God.
Friend of the program, All right, we had comments. Raw Hebrew debunked this whole thing, man. You're just clickbaiting. Raw Hebrew already gave us the game.
He dedicated videos, forget comment, videos towards this report.
God bless. That's all I can say, man. God bless, man.
Shout out Raw Hebrew, though.
Shout out to Raw. Come back. Call back anytime, man. We'll leave the light on for you, man. We'll leave the light on for you, pal. Because literally, the only justification a person can have to try to debunk the report is straight hate. Period. Period. So you got to ask yourself, what's driving you to try to discredit so quickly? Oh, these guys don't have the answers. Let's go to the smart guys and smart guy it up.
Ugh.
The disrespect to the number one show for the fans by the fans.
Bro, I don't think you realize, this wasn't hate on a marginal trade. This wasn't hate on a bench move. This wasn't hate on a veteran signing. This was probably the biggest move. Karl-Anthony Towns becomes the highest paid New York Knicks in franchise history.
Yeah.
You call criticism for reporting that possibility, that move, that interest.
Yeah.
For that. Wow.
This man.
Woo. Shout out to you, Raw Hebrew.
It's like I said, it's all love for everybody, man. But like, when you throw shots over here, make sure you don't come with a pea shooter, man. Come correct. Have your facts in order, not what the little voices in your head is telling you. Come correct. Because
This is the same guy.
When I'm telling you 2 + 2 is 4, those are the facts.
And you know what's funny? I actually think it's more credible when you report this way before it happens than if you were to have that same show you had that day, let's say 2 days ago or last night.
Yeah.
Right? Because then it's more skeptical. Then it's like, all right, you're connected to such and such. You it's not real reported because you got the insight. Everybody knew it. You only reported it 24 hours before it was. No, we did this a couple months ago when it was a slow summer, CP, as some said. That's when we went out and said, be on the lookout.
Yeah.
This is so like they have a mission to complete this. That's when you went out of your way to make that report.
This is also the same guy, by the way, who kept preaching for one Alec Burks last season. And hey, he just didn't want to say it, but hey.
I mean, I only been giving y'all the hits. I told y'all the conversation that me and Brock had at Summer League. Listen, you guys like to throw the conspiracies out there. I let you guys take it and run with it. I will not confirm or deny. But all I'll say is, it's #1 show for the fans by the fans, man. Just keep it locked. Like, share, and subscribe. That's all, man. That's all we ask of you, man.
And we get a lot of insight that we don't even say because that's not even what we trying to do.
Yeah.
We just keep it low key. We respect the sources. We let them report it first. But there's a lot more insight that we get that we just say, you know what?
Let it go.
But that Karl-Anthony Towns one, I know CPU was like, yo, I can't keep it in the chamber, man. I gotta say something.
Man.
Yeah, it's just too crazy.
It was crazy because it was true. It was crazy because it was true. Like, I had an argument over this. I didn't want to believe.
I was about to ask you, what was your reaction when you got the news? And like, because sometimes when we get stuff, we're just like, and you're just battling internally as a fan, and stuff like, oh my god,
I didn't want to see it, but like I said, it was given to me in a 2 + 2 = 4 format, and I was just like, wow. So it could either be between now and training camp, or after the season. But I can tell you one thing, I did not think they were ever going to come to a contract extension. I was pretty confident on that.
The only thing this goes against you, though, is CP, is all the jokes of CEA and the checks have cleared and the CEA Mafia and all the
we still have that photo.
You
of
now,
CP
there's no way you
and
can deny it.
Randle.
Now. It's over now, CP.
Those obligations. Oh yeah, for sure.
It's over now. There's no way a local reporter is giving you this. Like there's something going on now.
I'm just a conductor, man. Like I told y'all in the beginning. I told y'all years ago, man. I'm just a conductor.
God.
I'm just a conductor. I like to hear from the fans after every night. We go live after every night, after every show, after every game. Win, lose, or draw, we here. And that has been our mission statement since June of 2017. That's it, man. That's it.
The conductor.
As I told you, CP, as long as you wasn't the conductor in them Diddy parties, we good.
No. I was not with the diddler. I was not with the diddler, man. No.
This man was talking about going to bed early.
Yeah, it was gonna be an early night for me, man.
My man.
Is that Johnson and Johnson bottle back there? Is that what we see?
No, sir. No, sir. Nikki Holla on the Discord. Go ahead, unmute your mic.
Yo, what's up, CP?
Good. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good because a lot of people don't understand that this is the last guy that threw hands with Embiid.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like the last guy to tangle, roll on the floor, get into an actual NBA scuffle instead of the hold me back bullshit that we've been experiencing.
Family show, buddy. Family show, man.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's all right. It's the first time. It's okay.
No, it's not my first time. It's my third. It's Nick from Seattle. I saw you game 4.
Okay.
With the Death Row. Yeah, we bet.
Yeah.
So I just want to say what's up. I'm pumped. I'm hyped. I think it makes sense on a financial perspective. I think it makes some sense on a basketball perspective. I hate losing the big Ragu.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah,
but it opens up minutes for Kolek. It opens minutes for McBride. It almost, it allows us to be different. It allows that center to pop out to the 3. But also, the biggest thing is it's someone who can trade hands with Embiid. If it comes down to it, he starts twisting ankles again. It's going down in the paint. The last guy, right? Do you feel it? Like the last guy who actually got down on the ground with Embiid and goes, "We're throwing blows now." So, and I like that. Like we need some toughness. Now, people don't like Cat. People go, "Oh yeah, this thing." The last guy to throw hands with that Goliath of a human being was Cat. Marcus Smart threw a ball at him. A few other guys pushed him, and so the hold me back moments. Cat went on the ground with him. That's all I gotta say. Thank you so much for your time.
All right, appreciate the call, man. Appreciate the call.
Shout out to Nick, man. He want to fight.
Yeah, he's ready. He's ready to scrap.
I don't know if Cat's the guy I want to go to lead the charge in a fight, but
he's definitely ready to scrap. All right, let's clear out the Discord. Let's clear out the Discord and then wrap up. Way too mellow. Go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yeah, what's good, y'all?
How you feeling, bro?
I feel terrible. This is devastating.
Talk about it. Tell us why you mad.
Cat is not worth Donte DiVincenzo alone, in my opinion. So I don't have a lot to say. Karl-Anthony Towns is always the softest big man in the league. This didn't make us better. I would rather let Julius play this year and walk for nothing than get Karl-Anthony Towns. This is a minus. You know, I was really excited about this team too, but it feels like we can never have nothing good in New York because I don't know what the move is here. Donte DiVincenzo was basically our second best player on the team last year, and we just traded him for Karl-Anthony Towns, who choked. I mean, he was the main reason they lost in Minnesota in the playoffs last year. He was a disaster, and I know Julius was bad too. But he's talking. I don't know who that last guy was. I don't know who he's talking about. Julius Randle will beat Karl-Anthony Towns up respectfully. I'm not trying to get into all that.
Man, we fighting tonight.
If you put Julius Randle and Cat in a room together, you know, Julius Randle is walking out with all due respect. So, you know, this made us softer. I mean, hopefully Mitch can be we need Mitch. I don't know what else to say. This is not a good move in my opinion, especially losing Donte.
Okay.
Julius, I kind of understand, but Donte, this was a minus for me, man. We would have had the best shooter coming off the bench in the whole league. Now we have a starting 5 with no bench. So
okay, fair critiques.
Man. Y'all have a good night.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully this works out.
Call back anytime, man. Way too mellow, man. He went on the contrary. I like that. We haven't heard that all night. We haven't heard anybody who wasn't really for this one. So that's a good balance. Appreciate him on the call. And you know, we're not going to be done with this Cat stuff. We're definitely going to talk to John Krosicki at some point this week. I don't know when Minnesota's media day starts, so I know he's going to be busy, but we got to get him on the show to get the Minnesota side of things. He's been covering Karl-Anthony Towns since he's been there. That's 9 years since Towns was there. And so we got to get our guy Yossi Goslin on here. We got to break things down from a salary cap standpoint. Maybe we get Bobby Marks. Got to get Begley on here. So we're going to be talking Towns all week. Media day starts Monday. Mike Woodson coming to KFTV on Tuesday. Lots going on, ladies and gentlemen. We are ramping up, man. Month away from the season, a little bit less. We are ramping up, man. Jay from East New York. Jay, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yo, y'all hear me loud and clear?
Loud and clear. Rapid fire. How you feeling, bro?
Yo, man, shout out to everybody, first of all. I'm definitely shocked about this trade. Yo, CP, I actually called in like last year, like March 2023, man. And I asked about Cat, man. And you was adamant, like, nah, I don't want this to happen, man. And I was with you. But at the end of the day, I'm always going to root for the front of the jersey. And I think that this move kind of rounds out the roster. Like, a lot of people might poo-poo this trade, but honestly, I think when you look at the personnel that we have, every piece fits. You got a guy like Mikal. He loves to play in the pick and roll. He could score in the mid range. You could pair that with a guy like Cat, who is very proficient from the three. He's going to be able to pick and pop. I think Tibbs is going to be able to coach him up on the defensive end. So I don't really worry about him because we got a wing duo and OG and Mikal as well as Josh Hart. Now going to definitely be in the starting lineup. So the defensive intensity is going to be there. And if you guys that's worried about the bench, honestly, like I remember Shaq said this, like your bench should never be as good as your starters. You should always be relying on your main guys. And we got Jalen Brunson, we got Mikal, we got OG, and now we got Cat. So I think that as long as the ancillary pieces come in and fill in a role, we'll be fine, man. But, you know, it's a couple of moves that's going to be made, I feel like, to round out the roster. I'm not sure how many guaranteed contracts went out, but if it's 3, I think those Exhibit 9s and Exhibit 10s, I think that they're going to be guaranteed and they're going to go into training camp, man. I can't wait for Monday. It's going to be a good time, man.
Oh,
Yo, what a time to be a Knicks fan, man.
It's going to be a good time, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Latinx Travel Club. Just gifted 5 franchise channel memberships. I see Anthony Parasol got one. G5 Weez got one. Above the Rim, Isaac Blancaflor, and Big Mike. So welcome to you guys to the franchise channel memberships. And thank you to Latinx Travel Club. Also, welcome Third Eye Butler to the franchise channel members. We're going to read all super chats and franchise channel member announcements in just a little bit. We're just clearing out the Discord and hearing from the people. Shout out to Jay for East New York. CK2K's been hanging out with us all night, man. We cooking, man. This is a classic time right now. And we're just getting started. James on the Discord. James, go ahead and unmute your mic.
You can hear me?
Loud and clear.
What's going on? You know, first time caller. Excuse me, I'm a little sick, but
okay.
You know what I'm saying? Gen Z Knicks fan. Like Julius is gonna go down as one of my favorite Knicks of all time, you know.
Okay.
I didn't grow up with Ewing and all them, but I still respect my OGs, but yeah, losing Jews is tough. But that's really all I gotta say.
Okay.
Appreciate y'all. Have a good night.
Yeah, man. Stay up. Speedy recovery. Call back anytime. Gen Z Knicks fan, man. He repped his generation and all of that, man.
Yeah.
He broke it down. Said he didn't see the OGs, but he caught on with Julius. Julius made him a fan. So thank you to Julius, man. Call back anytime, bro. Houdini on the Discord. Go ahead and unmute your mic. Do we have Houdini in here?
Yo.
Loud and clear, sir. How you feeling? What's your name? Where you calling in from, God?
My name is Hector. I'm from Brooklyn.
Oh, what's up, man? How you doing?
What's up, man? I don't know, man. Like, you know, I'm a Knicks fan, you know, Melo era, stuff like that. And I just feel like, you know, I feel like a lot of people are like just not appreciative of what Julius Randle was for the era of us not having that super great team. You know what I mean? Like, he came in where we had nobody, you know, after the Melo era and, you know, during COVID, and he did a lot for the team. I don't think playoff wise, but we didn't see that potential, and we were going to get that potential, I feel like, prior to his injury. We were on a crazy row.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I know it had to happen. We would have to see how it plays out with Karl-Anthony Towns. And, you know, Donte was a big hit for us as far as, you know, a top shooter in the league. But how do you – I just have a question. How do you guys feel about the bench?
Yeah, I mean, well, I think we kind of ironed it out as Deuce, Payne, Precious, Sims for right now. And you're just going to have to wait and see how that looks, man. I think the ball handling duties for that second unit will be split between Deuce and Payne. But again, with Brunson, with McCallum, with Cat.
Broke up a little bit, bro.
With Brunson, with McCallum, with Cat, you'll be able to stagger some minutes. Even back when we had Fred Katz on yesterday, we talked about, you know, staggering McCall Bridges with that second unit. I think that still stands. And you're going to need that even more now. Than before. So you're going to hope that one of those 3 guys can run with that second unit, and so you still maintain your productivity.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Like, it's a hit or miss. It's a hit or miss. I feel like it's definitely finals or bust for us. And it's like, you know, we get that Karl-Anthony Towns But do we have is he a gritty center? He's going to be the like, how does he fare up against Embiid, Jokic? You know what I mean?
Right.
We have to see that, and we've saw that on the Timberwolves. But what does Tom Thibodeau do for him to change that? Because he's a defensive coach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He can change a lot, and we know he can shoot the three. We know he can. We know he's an all-star, and he replaces that Julius Randle. But who replaces the shooting on this team? You know what I mean? Where does the shooting go without a Donte DiVincenzo and things like that?
With Cat, you certainly got better over Randle, and you hope that Deuce takes that next step. Payne's a chuck. Payne will definitely let it fly from three. So, between Payne and Deuce, I don't know if Shaman gets minutes. I don't know. And does Kolek, when does Kolek get his opportunity? We'll have to wait and see.
But here's the thing.
Deuce had some flying colors during the playoffs.
Sure.
He got his minutes.
Sure.
And I feel like he definitely has a potential, and he's a you know what I mean? We got to steal with him at the moment. So, you know what I mean? If he has a breakout year, then, we have a lot of things to face if we don't, like I said, finals or bust. We have a lot of things to face if Deuce has another breakout year and then, he's not paid appropriately. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a lot. So it's like, I just feel like it's finals or bust, but, I'm a Knicks fan since a kid, and I got a lot of hopes. Hey,
man. That's what makes us, man. So call back anytime. Right. Appreciate the call, bro.
All right, have a good one.
All right, man. We got 5,000 plus on the check-in. Ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are new in the chat, type in hashtag new, and we will shout you guys out. JD, go ahead with your take.
No, I was just going to say, I think the whole bench stuff is lightly overblown, man. It's like, again, Donte DiVincenzo, I get it. But he was going to play how many minutes this season?
Yeah.
It's easier for a guy like Deuce to take over the 15-minute role than a veteran coming off a career high as a starter, Donte DiVincenzo, being happy in such a role. There's no way that anyone can tell me that Donte DiVincenzo would be happy with a role of 15 minutes per game. I guess this could be the only situation because his friends are here.
Yeah.
There's no way in any other situation coming off a career high season, a career season, that he would be okay as a starter now going into reserve role. And then not only a reserve role, but you're only going to play 15 to 18 minutes. Like, I think the way this roster is constructed, it could be a little bit overblown for the simple fact that in the playoffs, how many, do you really think the starting five is going to play 28 minutes a game? Like, where's the minutes going to come from? Again, where's the minutes going to come from? Like, the season, Tibbs may play 9 to 10, maybe. In the playoffs, guess what? 9 may go to 8. So the whole thing with the bench, Deuce is going to go into that Donte role. Like, that's the role. That's it right there. That's your answer. It's going to be Deuce's role. And yes, does Deuce have the same Klay Thompson, release off the wrist like Donte does? No, but Deuce is still effective. Deuce still has his way to sort of score the basketball. And guess what? Honestly, Ian Begley reported Donte was the holding piece in these negotiations.
Mm-hmm.
He was the holding piece. He was the deal breaker. And it was probably going to be either Donte or a draft pick. And I don't know that if Deuce doesn't have the playoff run that he did have, I don't know if the Knicks actually make this move. That's how much I think the Knicks are high on Deuce in terms of you asked a guy going into his first real playoff run in the rotation to be an integral part of a rotation, and the way he responded in these playoffs, especially in that Philly series, I think that gave the front office a lot of confidence in making such a move to where you can add a guy. And guess what? Deuce McBride is a better defender than Donte DiVincenzo. So are you really even losing defensively? And do you maximize a player like Donte in 15 minutes? Whereas, because the thing about Donte, listen, let's keep it real. There were so many nights where Donte needed 18, 19 shots just to get into a rhythm. Like, it's not like, Donte is a guy that learned to be a 4-for-6 player. Bench players, you have to learn how to be efficient with not that many opportunities. sometimes I think actually role players in the NBA sometimes have a tougher job than starters because you don't really get rhythm. You get a good spark off the bench, and it's like if you're not effective in that 2 to 3, 4 minute run that you get, it's like the head coach benches you. You may not even see the court again. It's like you have to learn how to be efficient off the bench. Deuce has had that experience. I think Deuce will be able to respond to that role. And by the way, remember I told you I had a birthday gift for you?
Yeah.
Remember I told you I ordered the gift? It didn't come on time. It's a jersey of a player that you once were very skeptical of.
Oh no.
I'm not gonna reveal his name. I think you know by now who that player is.
Oh man, is it signed?
But it's a player.
Is it signed? Good
We'll
lord.
see.
Now he's
And
getting
guess what?
greedy. Now
Guess
he's
what?
getting greedy.
Yeah, he's getting greedy. You act like you don't have the connection now to where you can just get it signed if you want.
Just go get it, right.
But nevertheless, you know, it's a player that you once were very skeptical of that could even break the rotation. And not only has he broken the rotation now, he's now a very important part of the rotation. So,
He's the last kid. Kolek is moving in, but you know,
so hopefully
putting him in the kids
you
bracket.
rock that
last kid
jersey with
standing.
pride,
Yeah.
like a real fan.
But
Y'all doubted my boy. Now my boy is part of the
a big part.
Hopefully championship
Big
New
part,
York
bro.
Knicks team.
While I hear your point, JD, I think it's fair for like some of the fan base to be concerned now losing a score that you had that, look, even though he started off the bench, then slotted in as a starter and was a critical part, right? Just think about all the injuries that you had after the OG trade. You don't have Quick, you don't have RJ, you know, you lose OG, you lose Randle, and then Donte became that de facto second scorer on this team. And so I understand the sentiment of saying, we just lost a guy who was able to step up in a critical way for this Knicks team. So I get that. And then let's just also keep in mind that OG is still injury prone. We're not sure if this man, how many games he's going to play, right? If you get 50, which is what he had this past season between both Toronto and New York, count your blessings, in my opinion. It's very rare that he gets to 60 games. So I think the concern is you can bank in for OG just like Mitch to miss some time. And then when you start going down that second unit, Campaign is an erratic scorer. Miles McBride still has to prove himself. Precious is not known as a scorer, even though we see the cool summer videos of him shooting threes. You know, we know what Jericho Sims is. And so I think the concern is if OG goes down, are we still going to have enough offense moving forward?
Yes.
To say, hey, are we okay? I think that's fair for the fans to want to be concerned and wonder about, because injuries do happen, man, and it goes throughout anything. Julius was an Iron Man for so many years, and then he gets injured 2 years in a row. So I think there's that concern of saying, do we have enough moving forward? And I think it's valid.
Why you got to rate on my party, Alex? Why you got to come on, man?
Salute.
I'm just talking. Look, man, I'm supposed to be a voice for the people that just need to be heard. That's what I'm trying to do out here.
We'll take a couple more on there, Rap Man. Salute to Team Hashtag New. William Sosa, salute to you. Who else we got in here? Team Hashtag New. Henry Hunter, Kenneth, Young Glove G1, Titan Steve, salute to Underrated Darkness, salute. Who else we got in? Lou Boogie. Lou Boogie says hashtag new, but he's always in here. So salute to everybody, Team Hashtag New. Like, share, and subscribe. Black Messiah King, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yo, CP, Alex JD, love the KFTV. Shout out.
Appreciate you.
Got some love for CK too. So this is what I'm saying.
Yep.
That's the end of the feelings right there.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like first off with Donte and Julius going, I'm gonna start with Donte. I got 2 words for everybody that's feeling some type of way about Donte leaving. Mikal Bridges, bro. We forgetting this guy's on this team. Everything he did for us last season, Mikal can do. So, and more. So, besides that, we got Julius. I love Julius. He's become an all-star. He's been all-NBA with us. But how much has he really done in the playoffs in a Knicks jersey? At the end of the day, not much. So with that, I feel like Cat is definitely an upgrade. We can do more offensively with him. And even we're thinking about like facing Joel Embiid in the playoffs. Last season, Iheart was struggling. When Iheart was struggling so bad on trying to defend Joel Embiid, Precious came in and he played some big minutes for us. So I feel like we're good on that. we're good in those terms. I feel like it's a really good trade. I'll give it a B for the moment. And if we're talking about the bench, who else in the East that was in the playoffs that are gonna be our rivals really got a crazy bench like that?
Yeah.
Are we scared about the Celtics, Sam Hauser, and
He
Peyton
stepped up.
Pritchard like that?
They stepped up. I'm giving him a lot of credit, man. Hauser in particular in the finals, he stepped up. Pritchard stepped up. They gonna be nice. They got firepower there.
They did step up, and we may not get past them this season, but that team's payroll is kind of crazy. They're gonna need to break it up soon.
Yeah,
bro. And
true.
we got all our guys under contract for the foreseeable future.
There you go, man.
So we're gonna be competing for the next 3 years at the very least, and no one in the East really, at the present moment, outside of the Celtics, really turn my head over the next couple seasons. Philly, yeah, they got Paul George, but he's like what 34, bro.
Yeah.
What happens in the season? We're Gucci, bro. I love
Yeah.
this trade.
Where you checking in from? UK, bro?
I'm from Australia, bro.
Oh, you checking in from Australia?
Ah, there it is.
You're there now. You're calling in from there now.
Yeah, I'm calling in from Australia.
All right, which part?
I'm from Melbourne, Australia, but I'm from South Sudan. I'm African. But we here, Knicks Fan TV. We bleed
Let's go.
blue and orange.
Let's
And
go,
that's it.
man.
God
Appreciate
love
you
y'all.
repping us,
Shout out
man.
y'all.
What's up?
Yes, sir. Call back anytime, man.
Got y'all.
Black
I'll always be part of the
Messiah
channel.
Kingsley on the check-in from Melbourne, Australia. Throw your cities in the chat wherever you guys are checking in from, man. Wherever you guys are watching from right now. Throw your cities, throw your countries in the chat. This is a worldwide movement here, Knicks Fan TV, man. All right, let's close the show. It is quite late here in New York. In America, it's quite late here on the East Coast. Cody Glock. Go ahead and unmute your mic. Cody Glock.
Oh, I'm in the place.
In the place.
Yo, man. Shout out Manscaped, man. I have a 0 turnovers because of Manscaped, man. I take care of my ball with the utmost precision in my midfield. Yo, listen, man. Damn, my man Donte, man. I'm not too hurt about Julius Randle. I know this is gonna happen for Karl-Anthony Towns. Like, I know this trade was gonna go down. The reason I trust that this will work out is because we don't lack in defense. Trading Julius for Cat, we don't lack in defense. I don't care what nobody says. Donte got us some nice lane interceptions last year, and he hit that big shot. We will never forget you about that. But Mikal and Josh Hart, they make up for that. OG, they make up for the defense, man. I was worried about losing Hartenstein because sometimes he could facilitate on offense, but we fixed the hell out of that problem with Cat, bro. But now it's just not the floater from iHeart. We're lucrative now, bro. Cat gives us way more options off that pick and roll, off that facilitate. We fixed that problem. But wait, I'm really just happy for one reason.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something about this shit, man. You see this shit? Snitching, man.
Nice.
Julius Randle got traded before Mitch no snitch. Let me say that again. Before Mitchell. Longest tenure. He's the longest tenure Knicks. I know he's injured right now. Shout out to you, Mitchie, baby. Potentially January, I'll wait, my boy. You feel me? But he's still on the squad. Tibbs said, no way. We need as much defenders on this team as possible. But quickly, let me talk about Deuce, bro. Deuce is taking those Donte minutes for a fact now.
Yeah.
So where Donte has to get his spot up shots, jack some threes up, most of the time he's going to be connecting. Sometimes not, but he gives effort on defense as well. Cool. But Deuce McBride, impact on the game is becoming deadly on both sides of the court. And now with the opportunity to possibly break out even more with these minutes is going to be great. We couldn't see the full Nova Knicks, but right now, right, wrong, and indifferent, I'm rocking with the Knicks for life. Shout out Nicky Pipes, man.
Yeah,
Shout
absolutely.
out Julius Randle. Shout out Julius Randle for helping us get back to respectability and relevance. Shout out CP Free Throws, man.
Yeah.
Shout out Alex, man. Shout out JD. Shout out CK2K, man. Shout out Robert Randolph. Tell him to get his boy out of here. It's a new cat in town. Anthony. Bagwan Anthony. Anthony, I'm out, man.
Cody Glock, ladies and gentlemen, man. Salute to the Glockster, man. Great show. I'm going to read the super chats, man. Great show, fellas, man. JD, Al, CK, great show. And yeah, we're just going to keep it rolling, man. This has been... the most action-packed Knicks offseason in how long, bro? Like, yo.
Bro, you remember when you did the live when KD went to the Nets? How times have changed. Huh?
Yeah.
That was an action-packed summer. But it wasn't in our favor.
No.
Or at least we thought at that time.
I was going live talking about Wayne Ellington signed. No, we got Reggie Bullock. He signed. He didn't sign. Now he signed
Don't
with the
forget
right
your boy.
money.
The
Don't
8
forget
power
your boy, Bobby
forwards we
Portis.
signed.
Oh, Bobby P.
Oh God.
Alfred
That
Payton
was that
days. Those were the blockbusters. Those were the emergency live streams back in those days. The new guys. 900, almost 10,000 people voted in the poll on this trade. 38% give it a B. 27% give it an A. So there you go. Almost 10,000 people voted in our trade grade poll. And there that is, man. Let me get to the reading of the super chats. Great show, everybody, once again on this emergency live, man. Salute to the team for pulling this together. Salute to Gamba, Tyler, everybody who came through, man, to make this happen. Okay, where are we at right now? Let me get to the super chats so we can shout out all the people, and then we'll get to it. All right, let me scroll down here. Salute to Johnny. $5 super chat says that breakout year from Jericho is going to have to wait. Maybe not. I mean, the way this is looking, he still might get burned. I think he still is going to get burned. Shout out to Shervin Mobasheri. Dr. D-Roy Bramwell says, I'm just watching these Randle haters. He's gone. Ooh, Dr. D-Roy hating a little bit. Sean Frank says, I'm ill. Shout out to Hospi. Canadian super chat $5 says, Julius put this team on the map when nobody wanted to come play here. Salute to 30. I don't know how to feel, but we got to let Leon cook. Win now mode. Shout out to MJD. $5 super chat says, I'll help Julius pack. We'll be fine. Let's family show go. Shout out to Peter. El Dantastico said CP called this months ago. I'm going to miss Devo. M. Rivera 4396 says CP needs to demand apologies from all the naysayers. They accused you of Knicks for clicks. Yeah, that's okay. That's all right, man. Defense mechanism, man. Shout out to J. Cal. Omega, a.k.a. Cappuccino, appreciate it. Miguel Nooks says, I got courtside seats to Knicks' Hornets. Did my seats just get better? I'm trying to get out there for that Black Friday game, man. So you might see me if that's the game you're talking about. Shout out to our guy, Chris Shamus, fellas, friend of the show. $5 super chat says, I don't love it. I think we gave up too much. That said, I understand it, and I think we are real contenders. Let's get it. New York forever. Shout out to Big Rob. Shout out to Peter. The 77 says, CP and Alex, I want both of you to keep the same energy. When I called a year ago and said, Cat to New York, y'all posted it on y'all Twitter laughing. Yeah, probably did, and I didn't want him. Cynthia W's. Shout out to Cynthia. Says, salute, guys. I am more upset that Ragu had to leave. Do you guys think Dadier will now get some playing time? Anything's possible, I'm sure, but I think he's got a long way to go. You know, just let him sit back, develop in the G League, and see what happens there. But anything's possible. Mark from the 915, salute to you. Adam Feltz, salute to you. Son from Brooklyn, $10 super chat, says, I hate this trade because Dante's leaving. However, the Knicks showed in last year's playoff they can win without Randle. Salute. El Capitan 22, $5 super chat says, I'm not a Randle fan, so I'm okay with trading him, but I don't think this was the deal. There will come a time when Cat, Mitch, and OG are all hurt. I read that one already. Cool vids, man. Salute. Expect a fight. Salute, man. That's my family said. I said it last year. Nas Reed made Cat expendable. 499 says, Cool Fids Man says, where is Jay? I don't know who Jay is. Tom Herrera, appreciate the super chat. A-Bot03, $5 super chat says, Cat shoots the 3, rebounds, and fits the Knicks better than Julius Randle. He's not a ball dominator. Devo hurts, but we need that ring. 55 years. It's time. Lopez 104, $10 super chat says, all you trade Julius people, you got your wish. Now we got another guy that's going to set off the toxic boys even more. Let's get this thing rolling. Shout out Greg Gardner. I think I got this one. Said the OG trade hurt, but felt like the right trade. I don't know if this feels like the wrong trade or just the wrong time. I wanted to see what this roster we had would have done, but this might be one of the best teams built by the trades. It's amazing how they've gotten here, for sure. Epicness 54, Stilico says, I hate this trade, but Ari gets a 5 for pure theatrics. The real star of the show showed up. Alexander Breyu, $5 super chat says Jalen Brown, Jason Tatum, Drew Holiday, Derek White, USA Olympic team plus Porzingis is cold. Okay, must be a Celtics fan. Shout out to Severe Elder says, I don't know how I feel about this, to be honest. Someone enlighten me. JR Ragu and a pick. Wow. $30 super chat for Dawn says 30 for 30. I'm glad I tuned to KFTV because my heart is hurt, but you made me see the upside. Losing Donte is crazy work. The bench took a hit and so did my heart. He hit that three against Philly. Damn it, man. Tough business. But shout out to Dawn Marie for the support. John Shin, appreciate you, man. We definitely going to connect. Knicks in the city. We got to do it from your restaurant. Will Caldwell, I got that one. Fugazi, salute you. Mind Freak says both all-star power forward and centers that got traded from Minnesota went on to win a championship the year their team traded them. KG, Kevin Love. Could Karl-Anthony Towns be the third? Could he be the third? Shout out to David. Chris R says Cat got my Dominican support. John Mark says, what is our starting five now? Do we trust Cat at center? I think it's Brunson, Josh, McCall, OG, and Cat.
You know,
yep.
Can I just say one thing?
Sure.
This is the position that Cat wants to play. So, you know, he didn't like when Rudy Gobert. He had nothing against Rudy, but he wanted to play the 5. So the fact that he gets to start at the 5, he's probably hyped about that to go back to the natural position he entered the league playing.
Yeah, and you know, the trust is, do we trust Cat at 5? They do, and especially when you have a Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby. They look at it like the C's offensively and defensively, where it's like, if you're stout on the perimeter, you know, the heavily reliance on rim protection, well, you know, Cat's not, you know, he's not a stiff by any stretch, but if you can keep guys out of the paint, keep guys at bay on the perimeter, puts a little bit less pressure on your rim defense as well. So it kind of goes hand in hand. I think that's what that's the way they're looking at it. And certainly offensively. Say that again?
And if anything, they probably looked at it before they got Rudy Gobert on the Timberwolves. That was probably the best he was playing was when he was at the 5.
Yeah.
Even though statistically he had a better season this year in the postseason.
Carl Barnett, 83. CP and KFTV need 100K more followers for breaking this news 3 months early. Bro, you put Woj into retirement. Yeah. Okay. Shout out to Arm Grayson. Excellent. I will be watching a lot of Knicks basketball this season as an East Coast Lakers fan. All right, salute to him, man. Definitely appreciate that. R.M. Grayson says, I saw this coming when they didn't pay Randle in the offseason. $20 super chat from him. Shout out to Haiku Homie. Here's his bars. He says, Knicks are built like a Yu-Gi-Oh deck. 5 pieces of Exodia to keep the Celtics in check. They have tradition, but we have KFTV squad and CP the Dark Magician. That's a bar.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Right, Yu-Gi-Oh. What'd I say?
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yu-Gi-Oh. Here we go, man.
Get with the times.
Here we go, man. With the young whippersnapper corrections.
I was gonna let it go, but yep.
This is you just hanging. Go back to mowing the lawn.
My fault.
Just go back,
man.
do what you do best.
My fault. You know, I didn't keep up in those days. Anyway, man. All right, man. Formerly known as Steve says the Knicks traded Donte, Evil Donte, and Tall Donte, a.k.a. Bright Skin Hartenstein, all within a year. Knicks making moves. Championship is the only goal. Rafael Rubio, salute. Donald Smith, $5 super chat says, our most skilled 7-footer since Ewing. How about that? Look at his numbers on the Tibbs in Minnesota. D. Ward Bramwell says, people forget Donte came to the Knicks a bench guy behind Grimes. He did his thing. Next man up. Deuce will step up and be great, plus campaign. Above the rim, $5 super chat says, the new Woj team, Knicks Fan TV, just woke. Mitch is next with his damn cryptic tweets. 14 and 6 mil. Ari, what's the next agenda? So don't get him started. Shout out to Vincent Huang. $75. This is NT. I don't know what currency that is. Says, let's go orange and blue skies. Really looking forward to the next season. Shout out to Vincent, man. Where are you checking in from? Shout out to Vincent, man. All right, so like we said, man, we're going to keep this Towns thing rolling. Hopefully this week we'll get John Krasinski from the Athletic, covers the Timberwolves, get his side of things. We'll get a salary cap breakdown, let you guys know where things stand with the Knicks and what potential future moves they could make down the road. Media Day Monday. Mike Woodson Tuesday. So keep it locked, man. Number one show for the fans, by the fans. Hit the like button, hit the share button, subscribe to the channel. Remember to support our sponsors, man. SeatGeek.com or use your SeatGeek app. Use our code KFTV for $20 off your first order. And as usual, man, go to manscaped.com. Use our code KFTV for 20% off plus free shipping. Shout out to our guys there, man. All right, fellas, great show. I got to get some sleep, man, as I'm sure you guys do as well. Peter Wilson, welcome to the Fanchise channel members.
Well, JD's going out.
You got to get some sleep.
Yeah.
The
night
JD's going out. JD's got plans.
Yeah, man. CK's just about to go eat dinner. You know, he's got mad time.
I told you, I got a
Man,
few.
I
I got a
left
few more
that
years
burger
left
out. I
before
don't even know
hit
if I
40.
have dinner. Rushed up here.
I got a couple more years left before I hit 40, so I still
Yes,
got
sir.
some stamina left.
All right, man. Be safe out there in the streets. And yeah, man, we got to get the Squadcast going. We'll definitely get the Squadcast going. The last preview show before the season starts.
Yes, sir.
And we right back in it, man. So great show, fellas. Great show, everybody. Great show, all the mods. We out of here, man. Peace.